Hello and welcome to another round of Spudventures. This week we are back in Waterdeep and the Undermountain for another session, session 28 of The Forgotten Ones. So take it away, GreatDinn.
Hey, hi, hello everybody, welcome back. As Spud said, this is the Dungeon of the Mad Mage 5e module with a bit of a twist. Joining us as always, we have Newbiespud playing Usk of House Castellanter.
Hello.
We have AvisEcho playing Yuliy.
I'm a fairy princess.
Remembered this time.
I did.
We have DigoDragon playing Victor.
If you're a fun guy and you know it, clap your hands.
That should be everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know it.
That's true. You don't know it yet.
I'm the fun one. That's all that matters then.
3 of us know it so far.
Yes. We have Azure Mountain playing Lander Brightwood.
Yes, we are all very fun guys.
And we have Space Jawa playing Jhank.
His business card is bigger than yours.
It very much is.
Oh dear.
It's a I mean, think about it. Think about all the various titles he has.
I mean, but I put my entire magical theory on my business card.
Yes, but I mean, you also can't pass those business cards out anymore. They're legally
it's really
classified
more like
as
a
weapons.
business skill board.
Well, putting your entire theory on your business card, that's cheating.
It doesn't work if nobody can read it, I guess.
Yeah, you kind of need to be
Double as a drink.
you kind of need to be fluent in like 4 to every language to read it.
I don't need business cards. Everyone who needs to know who I am knows who I am.
Exactly. Your business card is more along the lines of, hey, welcome to House Castellanter. You might be wondering how you got here.
I wear my business card as a very fancy robe.
You sure do.
How about I just give you a drink instead of a business card? There. Fine. Done.
Just a piece of paper with wolf slopper. We should probably actually do the recap real fast. Last time we had these adventures together, they met with Leyral Silverhand, the Open Lord of Waterdeep. Along with that, they got information that the Zhentarim, some people that they had actually pushed out of both Waterdeep and Skullport in order to get the Stone of Galore, might be coming back, and that their master, the Wizard Manchun, might not be as dead as previously thought. In addition, Usk has made the determination that there is in fact a thief in the town of Waterdeep that owes him a few favors.
Or at the very least is rather intimidated by me.
Yes, at the very least is rather intimidated. And you know, did something fairly nice for her in the last session by giving her the ring of her brother. Which
at the very least is not necessarily like a transactional thing, but like good contact to have.
Yeah. Solving one of the smaller mysteries that you've had since session 1. And finally, the most important information. The Black Staff of Waterdeep has informed Victor, Lander, and Jhank that the party, and in fact, most of the people revived, or the people revived by the curse of the Undermountain, are in fact not quite as themselves as previously thought. That the curse of the Undermountain is basically gathering up every soul that perishes in the Undermountain, mixing it all into a big slurry and forming new bodies out of magical fungi.
Because wishes are metal, yo.
Wishes are complicated, and the path of least resistance is often a gross one.
Yeah.
We're cordyceps.
Not quite. It's not taking over your brain exactly. Not yet, at any rate.
At thirsty.
Cordyceps would be a simpler explanation than what this is.
Honestly, kinda, yeah.
Being a magical cordyceps lich would be simpler than whatever the hell this is.
Mm-hmm. Can you? I apologize. I like complexity. It doesn't mean I like good complexity, but I do enjoy complexity.
That was not a complaint. That was an observation.
I know. I just wanted to.
I
wanted to say that.
I'm not sure whether I am or am not the only person who's never actually heard of a cordyceps before.
It's a fungus that takes over the brains of ants and makes them go to high places so that they can get eaten by birds, and then the cordyceps travel that way.
It makes
And
things
infect more things. Zombie ants.
Whenever people refer to the fungus that turns you into a zombie, it's a cordyceps.
Yeah. I could probably just link you a quick thing real fast. It is actually it affects more than ants, but ants are the most common one.
Yeah.
So like,
it's one of the reasons why I don't like mushrooms.
Okay, I think I've heard of it before, just not the name. I just didn't recall it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll link you. Here's an example of one that uses a caterpillar. Cordyceps sinensis.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're funky.
That's horrifying.
Nature is lit, yo.
It is horrifying.
Nature is so fascinating.
Be terrible.
And
It
now,
wants us
now
to
you know where
Well,
the game series The Last of Us was inspired.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
Nature is metal, yo.
it sure is. That's actually, I believe, if I remember correctly, in the opening cinematic of Last of Us, they show like footage of cordyceps in like that big sort of montage sequence.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been a while, and it's not really my favorite game series.
No.
So that is exactly the image I was thinking of, Digo. All right. So 3 of you have this information. 3 of you do not. One of which being me, I guess, sort of. How would you like to proceed?
Where are the rest of us? Just coming back from the Jhank portal or whatever?
Did we ever set a meeting point?
I don't think you did exactly, but it's not like...
Because I'm not going in that tower.
I would
Yeah.
probably figure we could meet back up at Usk's house, since that's pretty good neutral territory.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Jhank has sort of wandered over to a corner of the room, and he's just kind of sitting there with a blank look on his face, like he's staring out into nothingness.
Hello, darkness, my only friend.
I can't let your lizard stay here, so could you maybe...
Right,
shoot?
right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Come, Jhank. Let's go sulk on a nice comfy chair at Usk's place.
He's not really doing much of a reaction. I mean, maybe the barest when his name is mentioned, but otherwise he's just kind of faced out.
I mean, come on. Just because you've died and been reborn as mushrooms, I mean, you're still you, the serpent of the sea, second most important man alive.
I mean, just think of the great wheel of nature, and I mean, our bodies and everything are just one big cycle of previous bodies of other things.
I mean, come on. You still got that horde of abominations to fend off. Surely you're not doing that just for yourself, right?
Jawa, you are muted, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Jhank's. He really hasn't said anything yet.
Nope.
Okay, well...
Does he resist being
I guess,
nudged?
Victor, you gotta drag him out.
No, I mean, if you went over to him and, lifted him up, he wouldn't put up a fight or resist it at all. He'd make no...
As I said, Victor, you gotta drag him out.
What?
I
think the important question, Jawa... Sorry, Digo.
Go ahead.
I think the important question is just, is he more of a, no muscle movement whatsoever, or will he go along? Because you're dealing with 2 of the people who have, lower strength scores.
No, they don't need to physically lift him up. If they, give him the nudge up and kind of nudge forward, they can nudge him out of the building.
Okay.
Then I shall nudge.
Nudge.
Yep.
All the way home.
Though notably, as they go along to wherever their destination is, at any point if he notices a bar or a tavern or something, there'll be a brief resistance, like he's considering, should I go in there?
Seeing that, let's go to the yawning portal. Haven't seen Durnan in a while. Give him an updated map. Get some money.
Okay.
I guess we will remain at the yawning portal by coincidence.
Jhank can drink away his sorrows.
Hey.
Works for me. Can lizard men get drunk? I need to Google this. No, I'm sure it's fine. It's not like horses.
Blood alcohol content is universal.
Unless you're a horse, because fermentation is weird. Yeah, on the off chance anyone didn't know this, you can't get horses drunk because their stomach already ferments everything.
Oh.
So they have like a natural sort of tolerance to alcohol.
Today I learned.
They're already constantly filled with fermented alcohol stuff.
Yes, hence that joke at the beginning of Friendship is Dragons.
Yep. I didn't actually know the mechanism. I just knew that little factoid, but not certainly.
I don't even remember that joke.
It was the one about like why hot sauce was put on the table. It was like alcohol. I don't know that alcohol even works with horses. Yeah, so it's fairly easy to get to the yawning portal from the tower. It's a fairly simple walk, even though there's a bit of a hill to deal with. But the city is fairly busy. It's sort of mid-afternoon by this point. But you all make it to the yawning portal, no problem. And let me see if I can pull up that map. That's not the maps. I hit the story button, not the map button. I have too many. Share. Here we go.
All right.
Now I can put everyone in here. I have got to get Merlin off this combat tracker.
Nah, it's fine.
Goodbye. Goodbye to you too. And goodbye to you. Okay. Sorry, didn't do that before. Should have, didn't. Lander and Yuliy. All right, everyone's in here now.
It was strange that Victor
So the moment Jhank enters and he spots Yuliy, he will call out to her, Yuliy, me, ranking contest, now.
Meanwhile, I'm going to head up to Durnan. Hey, Durnan, I got some maps for you.
Oh, do you now? Lovely.
Indeed.
Hand them over.
And I will.
All right. Durnan will flip through the maps briefly and nod appreciatively before pulling a coin purse out of off of his side, pulling out enough coin to pay you for the job well done, which I believe your maps are for 2, 3, and 5 at this point.
Yeah, 2, 3, 5. We might have filled out a bit more of 1 as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you would have filled out a bit more of 1. So I believe that calculate. I think it's 100 gold then.
All right, I'll take.
So
it.
he will hand you 100 gold. And then he's going to take the maps to his back room to actually take care of them. The bar seems to be fairly empty at this point in time, as the rest of you knew. So it doesn't really seem to bother Durnan too much to leave his post for a little bit.
Well, now that all of us are here, we have some information that Jhank has found very unsettling.
If you have questions, more drinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
so...
but first, information first, because if I'm losing because your motivation for this drinking contest is higher than mine, then we're not playing this game. I will throw you into a wall.
No, that is
his motivation is to forget.
I thought you were supposed to be the drinking one.
Yeah, she takes it very seriously, obviously.
I am multifaceted, thank you.
I contain multitudes.
You are turning down her reason to drink?
She wants a very good one, because she takes it very seriously.
Let's tell you what's going on.
Y'all putting words in my mouth. I just want to know, because getting the information out of your drunk ass later is going to be a pain.
So we went to the Blackstaff's tower, got a checkup. Turns out we're fungus and a soup of souls with one more dominant soul.
That's
And,
more
yeah.
drinking.
So
Wishes.
a familiar face, Jhank, drops down from the rafters. You recognize it as the sea dwarf you guys met really early on.
Hey, that guy.
Yeah, he pulls out his personal he pulls out his personal mug, jumps over the bar, and just begins pouring beer steins for the both of you.
All right. Turns from
Wait for it.
Lander to Victor.
Yep. Wait for it.
Okay. You explain, because he speaks crazy things sometimes, and you're simpler.
Only sometimes? Okay. Anyway, so the curse wish effect in the Undermountain that has been resurrecting everyone is when as people die, all their souls get collected into a single area. So they kind of get mushed together in a soup.
Remember those mushrooms that we woke up next to?
Yes, the spell
That's us.
effect is using mushrooms and whatever available materials in the area there is to create new bodies
A meat
And-
substitute, if you will.
and stuffing our souls into those vessels. However, because we were in a soup, our souls are kind of mixing up with each other. Sort of like when you mix paints, let's say you get a paintbrush that's been used for blue paint and now you dip it into red, you're going to get some purple in there.
The more we die, the more our souls will combine into an amalgamation. For now, we're still mostly ourselves with various personality differences throughout the past. But we still have, as shown as when we woke up, we all had our names, and for most of us, our appearances, which leads me to believe that the body swapping between me and Victor did happen before we died the first time.
Okay.
Probably. Mhm.
Jhank has, while that second explanation was going on, Jhank chugged down the drink.
So-
No worries.
Next,
Ye-
Yuliy's gonna take this in, nod. Durnan, fill this up with the strongest thing you have right now. Places the font on the table, and once it's completely filled, we're going. Jhank, you're on.
Straight into the memory bank.
Oh boy. Okay.
And I do bang my hand on the table, and man, does it hurt now.
Is there anything we left out?
Other than the Black Staff has said that she could potentially cure you.
Oh yeah, there's a potential cure, but it's more like just stopping the process from going any farther, and it involves the person who cast the wish in the first place spending all of their magic and dying.
Wait, what?
Well, more specifically, the Black Staff using that person's magic up and the person dying as an effect of that.
Yes.
Can we just maybe get it so that we don't lose our memories when we die?
You know,
Oh.
that would be awesome. Don't know how to
or-
do that yet. Or what?
Or we could, instead of that, because contrary to popular belief, I don't like that Black Staff lady.
mean,
We could go
not
to
at
the
all
person.
contrary.
We could go find the person who did it, and maybe help them to stop it. Maybe.
You mean
Not
the person
completely
currently
out
locked
of
in
the realm.
in eternal conflict with the Mad Mage themselves?
I mean, all we have to do is not die again.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
problem.
It'll be fine. No worries.
Yeah.
Durnan
I
is.
like- I
Go ahead.
yes, the goal. Usk is, by the way, not is kind of nonplussed by this. Kind of just like it's just kind of like well, that makes sense. It's like he's already kind of come to terms with the fact that he is not quite the same self that he was at the start of all this.
Yeah.
And now he's just finally understands the mechanisms of how that happened, and he's
Speaking
kind
of
of okay with that.
nonplussed, isn't it weird
but-
how that word has two completely opposite meanings?
Anyway,
Lander, now is not the time for etymology.
Yeah.
Lander, I'm gonna throw this tankard into your face if you don't stop.
The
Mage
point I was trying to make is that my concern is the eventual goal is to reach the bottom and put an end to this, mega magical conflict once and for all, and maybe find a way to let everyone free, or at least let everyone pass on instead of being, swirled in this soup for all eternity.
Yeah, maybe polymorph Xanathar into a sword along the way.
My biggest fear and
Now,
concern
what are you
from
about
the
drinking
start of
shit?
this is that every time we die, we lose all our progress and have to start over.
Yeah, so I think the theory of why we lose our memories is because bits of our souls are being dissolved away or something like that into the soup, so we don't get all those bits back.
And I'm wondering if there is a magical way to at least secure our pieces to reinforce them, maybe, so that when they get swirled in the soup, we still come back with at least not necessarily all of our stuff, but our awareness.
See, I'm pretty sure that's what the Black Staff's cure is to just keep us in our current state. It doesn't really... Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but
I'd also rather not
It's
kill a
theoretical.
person. I'd also rather not kill.
Oh,
a person
yeah, me
who did
neither.
this. I'm just wondering if there's a middle ground in there somewhere. That's what my comment comes down to.
There might be. Could be the Black Staff doesn't have enough experience with this, or they just don't care enough. There's a bunch of possibilities.
Jhank will turn to the dwarf and then point to Yuliy. She could probably use some of these too.
Yes, Kalpar is filling up these steins for both of you basically every time you finish. And you see them making a small mark on a piece of paper just to double check, how much are they actually drinking here?
He's gonna charge you when you're done.
Potentially. And at your behest, Yuliy, for the whatever the strongest thing is there.
I get
Kalpar,
extra points because it's the strongest thing there.
well,
So, yes, Yuliy and Jhank are going to have a drinking contest.
okay, well, it's going to be a bit hard for Yuliy, given the saving. Please do not turn off your Yuliy until process is complete. Kalpar is going to pull a crystal decanter out from underneath and pour an unmarked brandy into your font.
I just realized that aside from me, everyone has the same Constitution modifier.
So, unfortunately, Yuliy, as previously stated, a side effect of using the font is that you get kind of drunk.
That's fine. That was the intention, wasn't it, at this point?
I mean, if she doesn't pass out or throw up, she's not out of the drinking contest.
I suppose that's fair.
Jhank has taken a seat at a chair, and yes, okay. They're ready to go.
Okay. Here is what I'm going to request. I want both of you to roll Constitution checks 5 times, but do it alternate between them, please. So, Jhank, since you initiated, you go first.
I'm gonna watch from this table over here.
All right, go ahead, Yuliy.
Asuka's kind of doing the thing where he's aloof off to the side somewhere, thinking.
All right, first round, you're both fine. Jhank, you're feeling a little bit tipsier. Next round, Jhank, go ahead and roll.
No!
The font's effects are starting to take hold. Yuliy, roll again. Okay. You are feeling pretty gross, but you're not out of it yet. Let's both go again.
Yuliy rallies.
Yuliy rallies. Jhank, you're feeling
You
just
can't see it, but I'm dancing in my chair.
you're feeling just a bit worse, Jhank. One more time.
This will be round 4 or 5, actually.
Yeah, this is round 4. All right.
Based on
that
how
rally
this is
didn't
going,
last
the
very
next
long.
one's gonna be good for Yuliy.
It did not. Final round. Go for it, Jhank. Go for it, Yuliy.
Oh,
Yuliy, you pass out.
That's okay.
Yuliy went on a roller coaster.
I'm
Jhank
gonna go to
just
the
kind
land
of
of dreams.
Jhank kind of steadily like like hovered.
Mm-hmm. Jhank, you are finding that this beer is working, but it's not working hard enough.
I'm not sure if I should be proud of winning or disappointed Yuliy did not last longer.
Husk
Strong.
size.
Need something stronger.
All
you
right.
want some drow poison? That'll put you to sleep.
It sure will. Hollyhock will go over. Why not? Let's do this. We'll pick up Yuliy, place her to the side, make sure she's lying on her side, and then sit down and pull out a bottle of elven wine.
Well, that answered that question I was going to ask. I was about to turn to Hollyhock and say, so, other than that, what plans do you have for this
How are you
evening?"
taking this?
I mean, we don't know that she's.
Oh yeah, that's
like
true.
us.
Yeah,
She may just be accepting the
be.
challenge.
She might not be.
Yeah, I think in regards to the actual situation, Hollyhock has been pretty quiet. She doesn't look too personally concerned by it, but just like, oh, it sucks that my friends are going through this.
Yeah.
'Cause she doesn't really know.
I love
I mean,
Holly.
do we really know?
I mean, you could probably guess, but I guess technically no, you don't know for sure.
there were like mushrooms among her stuff, right?
Yeah, you specifically did find some weird mushroom growths in Hollyhock's room.
Yeah, so probably yes, but she doesn't know.
Yeah.
So is Jhank going first or is Hollyhock going first?
Hollyhock will go first, and I'm gonna have her drink twice to quote catch up to make it fair. So we'll just do 2 rolls. That's Dex. Why did I grab Dex?
That's not con. Come on.
She didn't actually drink that one.
Foolish me.
She tossed
Okay.
it to the side.
Just making a show of it.
Yes, the dexterity roll was to wind herself up.
The dexterity roll was her like setting the bottle down and
Whipping it out.
yeah.
She took the bottle,
I thought
flipped
it
in
was
the
just
air, caught it, popped the
from
cork,
where
and
she
drank.
was, and then just downing too.
Oh boy.
Hollyhock seems a bit better about this right now. Probably because she's had less to drink. Okay. I think she hasn't drunk this much in a while. Definitely hasn't. Go again, Jhank. Oh, this is gonna be tight. One more.
Go, Holly! Yeah!
Jhank, you pass out.
To be fair, Hollyhock does have a really good constitution.
She's also a few levels higher than you.
Oh.
Just as planned.
Just as planned. As soon as you sort of drop, Hollyhock will and then stand
All
up.
right. Now it's
walk-
Victor's turn.
walk over
My turn
and
for what?
do the same, place you off to the side on your side so you don't get sick and die.
Recovery position.
Yes.
Jhank starts snoring as he lies on the ground, drunk out.
And then Hollyhock will sit over at the table and go, I'm going to need the rest of you to carry one of them because I can't get both of them, I don't think.
That's fair.
Can do. Well, 2 of us will take
I'll keep a
one.
lookout.
Yeah, me and Victor will carry one. Hollyhock carries the other.
And Hollyhock will go, I'm really sorry that you guys are all going through this awful thing.
It's all right.
I'm fine with it.
Honestly, it's been weird from the moment we got revived, so this is just, it's nice to know, actually. It's honestly really nice to know how this is happening and what's happening to us. I think we're the first ones in the entire underground to actually get a handle on this.
Yeah, farther than anyone else, I would wager.
Hollyhock will nod sagely.
Besides,
Which does leave the question of what we do next, which has always been the question, but...
Yeah.
I mean, we could just continue on as we've been doing, getting stronger and not dying until we get strong enough to take on the Mad Mage himself.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have too long till we have to get back anyway, so...
Yeah, we're kind of running out of time.
I mean, we could go back to Skullport if you guys want to use the Stone of Galore one more time, then head down further and tackle the next level.
Honestly, I feel like we might be able to make it to that level in 6 months. I feel like we've had an incredible amounts of growth in the past week, like more than a normal person would have.
I think we've been sort of regaining ourselves a little bit, but at the same time, one wrong step, and all of these floors are dangerous and deadly in very different ways, and especially, and even like the randomizer between floors is weird and dangerous. One bad roll, and I'm saying that in character, could be the end of any of us.
Sure, but as long as it's not the end of all of us, we can still catch up those that have resetted.
Yeah,
And for one thing, we're certainly taking better notes this time.
Yeah, we're definitely on a better page. But like, what if one of us resets and our personality changes again for the worse and complicates things? Like it's a lot of random complications to worry about, which is why I just want to avoid death at all costs at this point.
Understandable, but
Well,
you know,
Or at the very least, like try to mitigate the effects of death.
But we don't know. Right. But we don't know anything about.
Sorry, out of character, I just realized like we gotta find a way to turn this into an actual rogue, from a roguelike to a roguelite. That's what I'm arguing here.
I didn't think about it that way, but yeah, that's kind of what I set up, isn't it?
Yeah, I really think that if we're serious about like going the distance, we not only need to trust that we'll get stronger, but also like try to find some way of guaranteeing, or at least putting in place systems where if we do die, then we still keep as much as we can, and we don't lose any progress on the important goals that we have, like saving the twins, or Jhank's prophecy thing, or any number of these other things. These very big problems. Like, it has taken us so long just to piece together all of this stuff that losing this much progress would be devastating, and we wouldn't even know it. It was already devastating, and we didn't even know it when we first woke up on this life.
True.
There have been so many ways, big and small, that us forgetting has caused problems big and small. And we risk doing that all over again the next time we die, unless we find a way to mitigate this magically or practically. That's why I want to follow up with Blackstaff. I prefer not a solution that potentially puts the person who made this wish in danger and death, because frankly that's a horrible way to repay her for this chance to stop this. I do feel grateful for that. But as terrible as it is to say this, it's not enough. It's clearly not enough. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of people crowding Skullport who have been given the same chance we have and are hobbled by it. Just like we've been hobbled by it. It actually isn't helping us that much. It's throwing meat into a grinder. It's throwing fungus into a grinder.
And the more that people die and get reborn, the more the power lessens, and the more the barrier between the souls
entropy
disappears.
Is going to this too. So we're not even like immune to entropy. At some point, it may fail or become an abominable process that eventually turns against even the very purpose of it.
Yeah,
so like
it is hard to say when that'll happen, though. Could be a few years, could
decades,
be a few centuries.
Yeah. So, now that I said that, though, maybe it's what she would want is for us to take this to the next level and guarantee that this gives us the strength to finish this once and for all. But I guess we wouldn't know that without really being able to get consent. I think that's what I would want if it came to that, is being able to ask if that was allowed.
Well, I think we tend to have what is it? What's that word I'm looking for?
I don't know. I never know what word you're looking for, Lander.
Yeah.
I know what to get you for our next Thanksgiving.
Tendency. We have a tendency to meet them in our dreams when we sleep.
But yeah, now that we know the nature of this, I'm kind of flabbergasted that it's both like an incredible thing, this very like potent thing that's keeping hundreds and thousands of, who knows how many creatures down in the Undermountain alive perpetually. But at the same time, holding all of us back and kind of counterproductively preventing us from accomplishing the goal the wish was made for.
Yeah. And I feel like the whole losing memories part is because of the entropy and the loss of the powers. Because a version of me, maybe the second or third, knew about something that the first version went through. Specifically about Formalhaut. And the power not being terribly useful for my purposes. According to the first me, which the second me knew.
So what are you saying?
That as the power went on and lost its power, the barrier between the souls has faded, and we've lost memories that we used to have in previous iterations.
Yeah, but you might have looked through your notes again or something like that.
It is possible. I still have a lot of notes to look through.
But if what you were implying there was true, that would mean the rate of decay is incredibly fast, considering we've only been down here for like a few, I don't think we've been down here for a whole year.
But at the very least, I know I have died probably like 6 times or so.
Yeah, I was probably one of the latecomers to this. That's true.
Yeah, okay. So
although now that I think about it, a previous me was like, the dragons know in a realm removed to learn from the death of a fake. Like, what exactly is Monsoon, that wizard? Is it just a single consciousness across multiple bodies? Is it multiple bodies with the same soul but separate entities?
I think it's just a very organized group of doppelgangers. I think that's the idea, just with some kind of magical enhancement to.
Yeah, if they're all just completely separate entities that have similar mindsets, then that wouldn't help us at all. But if it's some sort of collective entity, then we might be able to learn something from that that could help our situation.
Then who would be the fake?
Create backups of ourselves.
I thought the idea was that something related to the death of the fake Manchun.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there might be some lingering connection, perhaps.
But
to
then,
some
but
sort
doesn't that
of-
invalidate the word fake if it's like still genuinely part of the same consciousness?
Maybe.
If there is no original?
And this is why we need to learn from it.
You're grasping at straws, I think. There's learning and then there's
I mean,
grasping.
absolutely, but what else is there to grasp at?
Can we retrace our steps back to where we fought him?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Because we encountered that on the way. We encountered him on the way to the hoard of Lord Neverember.
Mm-hmm.
And
He's a powerful wizard.
I've been thinking we should retrace our steps. If nothing else, we might have something about that journey might have inspired us to find those places to hide it, or we might have left some kind of clue. Especially if no one else knows where it is and we were the last ones who were there.
Basically, what I'm getting at with this is if we could find some way to store a copy of our consciousnesses in something and then have someone hold on to it to where if we die, they can then put it back into us so that we're caught up to where we were when the copy was made.
That would actually go a long way to helping our problems.
The issue is, how do we do that without just transferring over our consciousness completely and leaving these bodies as husks?
Yeah, how do you make a copy of someone's entire personality and memory? A safe copy.
You're dealing with magic beyond
right
most mortals
which
even think about.
Hollyhock sitting at the table nods
and
says,
out of character. Also, we're discussing how do we make a freaking save point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hollyhock sitting at the table nods and goes, "It sounds to me like y'all are trying to become liches."
I mean, we're kind of halfway there.
Maybe. I guess that is
really
kind of what a phylactery is. Huh.
I mean, I really can't say anything about it because Jhank's passed out on the floor, but yeah, that's pretty much what it sounds like you're trying to do.
just become a party of liches just because we hate the Undermountain that much.
Transfer our souls into phylactery, and then every time that our physical body dies, we just get a new one.
But like wouldn't that mean that like part of like the whole soup of souls would also have a series of phylacteries in it? I think that would get weird with the magic we're already working with.
Yeah.
It depends on whether we are currently part of that soup of souls, or if it's when we're alive, we're separate from it, but when we die, it goes back into that thing. Like if it's an area that collects souls and then spits them out, or if it's just an overall.
That's actually also a good question, but I don't think we have the means to know.
Yeah. Unless we could find someone or some way to see souls.
Din wants to say something so badly.
Hollyhock scratches her forehead next to the blade of
I know.
That is
yeah.
I've been thinking about that. And just like,
but
the last person who used that set a bad example.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here going like, y'all are basically describing exactly what Hollyhock is currently going through.
Yes, we are. Yeah.
Y'all, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm okay on the memory thing. I've been fine for ages. Y'all need to figure out your own way. I can't share this. But I'm drunk in the corner, so I can't contribute.
To be fair, also, with your memory thing, you need to remember how to use it before you can use it.
Yeah.
I've put a sign. I've put a letter to myself in my room. Trust me, I've done that.
Well, yeah, there is a chance that you won't remember your room.
There's also something I feel like I probably should point out You did not wake up with that.
Yeah, I know.
You left it there.
Details. I'm getting there.
Basically,
if
it
you
depends
lost
on you
that?
getting
Oh,
lucky and
goodness,
finding
yeah.
the room again.
If we go down to like the 10th or 13th floor or whatever, and you drop that there, if it's that magical, it's probably not coming back.
Listen, I'm not worried
Magical
about
items
me.
don't, like, by and large, magical items don't come back.
Hopefully, her dad would pick it up and give it to her again.
I'm more mad about Dad getting mad about me losing it.
That, yeah.
It's
But I'm drunk in the
Hopefully-
corner, and I'm not contributing to this conversation. Actually,
But I mean, like, I understand why
yeah.
so many people in Skullport gave up, because this is just a huge, almost intractable problem, and we're trying to solve it here in a bar table in the Yawning Portal.
Yeah.
Why not?
It's like we're not
Go to
even.
places
None of
any.
us are like maximum level wizards who are capable of doing crap like this.
It's not the
I
only
used
way
to
to
know
do it.
one, but that was a long time ago, and I don't remember anymore.
And we're desperately trying to pull together all these threads just to pull together some solutions to the massive problems we are already dealing with in our own pasts that we hardly are, remember. And it's a lot.
I feel like out of all of us has the most pressing problems.
Yeah.
I have stumbled across a terrible metaphor that I just wish to share real fast.
Sure.
The fact that I have given you so many threads means I have effectively given all of you a sweater curse.
I like it.
Yeah.
Curse that looms over all of us.
Nice.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
A good enough sweater, it gives us protection from cold.
We shall wear it to win the next ugly sweater competition.
Ouch. I made that sweater for you.
What a tangled
You made
web
that sweater
we've-
for thousands
you've
of
weaved.
people. Hundreds of people. Hundreds or thousands.
It's a
Hundreds
good
of
thread
thousands?
count.
It's not hundreds of thousands. Skullport is not that big. It's
Not that
it's
big yet.
it's hundreds broaching on thousands.
Gotcha,
All right.
yeah. That sounds about
Adventurers
right.
are not that common.
But yeah, I think it's time for us to maybe do a little bit more exploring and working in the Undermountain soon. But we've got some of these things cooking above, but I do think our, for what it's worth, next task is find some way to secure ourselves so that we don't lose all this progress, and try to retrace our steps to the Lord of Neverember's hoard, and also probably keep an ear open for any like huge monetary opportunities down in the Undermountain. I mean, at the floors we're at, we've only made it to as far as floor 5. I don't think we're going to find another 500,000 dragons sitting around at those levels, but might as well keep an ear to the ground.
I mean, it literally says in my book that was my idea of why I went down into the Undermountain, and possibly why you all came with me.
So you had you know the reason why? I've been curious about that
Did
for a
we
long
have
time.
like a specific lead?
No, but I kind of, given what I wrote here, it seemed that trying to get through all these dragons here was causing such a problem, so that it looked like I was giving up on that and trying to make a fortune in the Undermountain.
So we only started the Undermountain after we got the dragons?
Yeah.
I think
And then when
that's-
we split it up, and then we started trying to backstab each other to get each other's share.
I feel like I should clarify from Usk's journal entries and from some of the stuff y'all have picked up, the dragons are a more recent event. Going into the Undermountain happened beforehand. It's just that you're sitting in the bar of someone who made a vast fortune just going through the first floor of the Undermountain and cleaning it out. So like, there's the reason that people go in there is because they know they can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So the Dragon's Hoard is more recent.
That was a more recent opportunity.
Yeah, that was something that you came out of the Undermountain and it seemed easier to deal with.
Yeah.
So-
yeah.
Then did Victor have his eyes on the dragon horde and then be like, no, that's too much work. Let's go to the dungeon instead?
No.
That doesn't seem to have jived quite with a severed hand, that sequence.
So what was the journal entry then? 'Cause I'm a
the-
bit confused.
Yeah, it was the entry where I was writing in us blood because he took the Stone of Galore to try to find our shares of the Horde, and you and Yuliy made a bargain with Xanathar to get the stone back, and you brought a hand with you.
Okay, so that's well after we had already entered the dungeon. And it's just you saying that rather than trying to get all of the dragon's hordes, you're just reaffirming your stance of going into the dungeon to make money?
Yeah, because it looked like that trying to work with this huge cache of dragons that we got wasn't working out.
Okay. So it's not the reason why we went in there in the first place, but it was a way to, or a motivation to continue going into the dungeon.
Just like it is now.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm pulling up that specific entry to double check
Yeah,
everything I said.
I think
I thought
do
it was
need
an
to-
entry from... Go on.
I think we do need to make a visit to the Stone of Galore. We got 2 questions. We should probably use them.
Another thing with the Stone of Galore, it would not help at all with getting the personalities right, but it could help with recounting who we were. If one of us remembers,
Well, just
Or
having
didn't
an
I.
ally in Bronwyn in Skullport is probably huge.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but giving us access to the Stone of Galore and having everyone get information about who they were, like they wouldn't necessarily remember who they were or become who they were, but they would know about who they were through it, or at least know how others saw them, or all of the above. Basically,
I think it's too limited
Yeah,
to be a use.
but that would also
useful.
it would also require them not forgetting after they've learned it, which is a gamble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should go
Stronger,
make sure
richer,
the
and
people
better
aren't
connected.
suffocating on their puke.
Yeah, let's we put them in the recovery position. But yeah, let's.
And Hollyhock already did that, but it sounds like Yuliy rolled over. So,
Well, let's let them sleep it off, and then we go back down first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
all right.
All right.
Sorry, I was just clarifying the article with that one journal entry with Digo. I reread it and I was like, okay, I see where this sort of mistranslation happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it was intended to be, again, dragons more recent than going into the Undermountain itself.
Okay.
Makes sense.
All right. Okay, so y'all are heading back down to Skullport.
Yeah.
In the morning, yeah.
I'm gonna have words with old me about lack of dates in all these entries. Anyway.
Let the castle enters know that I'm going to be heading back down for a while.
Okay. You don't end up actually encountering either of the heads of the household or Oral, but you do get a message passed along through one of the servants.
Do I?
Yes.
What is the message?
Whatever
I mean,
message
you're-
you
oh,
wanted
you're
to
the
one that
send.
passes
Oh
it
yeah.
on.
Sorry.
Just leaving. Sorry, I thought a message for me. Just like
No.
yeah.
Sorry, when you went to deliver that message.
yeah. Just let my bosses know that my visit to Waterdeep is over for the moment. I will be back in Skullport in the Undermountain for the foreseeable future, but I plan to return.
Okay. You still haven't dropped off anything for Pocket, have you?
No, because I don't really have anything for Pocket.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I guess I can just leave like a quick report of like
just an update on no leads yet, still searching.
Yeah. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say it's like I don't think that it's quite an initiative from the Xanathar's guild, but from
basically you're saying that you think someone framed Xanathar's guild.
No, I think someone used their connections in Xanathar's guild to do this for personal reasons.
So it wasn't like the Xanathar guild itself, but like a small group of people from the Xanathar's guild acting on their own.
An agent of Xanathar, but not Xanathar's orders.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So the murder was and disruption was was either monetarily or personally motivated, but it wasn't from the organization itself.
Okay.
That will be my report to Pocket. I don't have any suspects at the moment.
All right. Well, that is a good start, and at least it tells her that you haven't spent the last 3 days or so just
doing
nothing.
Yeah, it's
she works on tight schedules too.
Yeah. But yeah, that's as much as I can say without being like, it was you.
It was some people I'm working with now.
No, those people are dead. We're different people now.
I mean,
it's kind of true.
Yeah. All right, so I guess you're all going back to Usk's house.
I could also say that as like it's oh man, I could do that. It's like if it's possible that the perpetrators are still in Skullport, but have since died and lost any memory of what they did. Yes, I put that in the report.
Okay.
Not as a certainty, but as like as a high possibility.
I see.
All right.
It is the truth.
It is the truth.
It is the truth.
It is. I mean, actually, it is verifiably the truth because all of y'all died in between that. All four people who were involved in that have died, except for one.
Sola.
But she's also kind of died.
Sort of, kind of, in that like she's kind of trapped in Skullport. Yes. Sola has not died yet, though.
Oh yeah. But yeah,
she has to.
I put that. I don't name names, obviously.
Well, yes,
but I do say that like
I don't even.
It seems highly likely that whoever did it was operating out of Skullport, but has since died and forgotten everything they did.
All right. Well,
tough, right?
Does even know about Sola?
Yuliy will remember.
Anyway,
I'm
thinking
everyone has met Sola real fast, just to get that out there, because Yuliy met her first and then directed you all to her later.
Got it.
I don't remember her.
It's been a while. She's a dark elf illusionist who's living in Skullport and has a never-ending bottle of wine, basically.
Helped us kill the heir to the Castellanters.
Yeah.
Which is why I'll never forget her.
You also broke into her cleric's house.
Yeah, who was dead.
Yeah.
Found some living armor that we ran away from.
It's fine. She said we could go in.
So we have 2 incapacitated people. I'm gonna say Victor and Usk carry Jhank, and Hollyhock gives Yuliy a piggyback ride, and I stand up to the side of it to make sure Hollyhock doesn't topple over.
Would it be easier if I got a horse?
Not that I'd be able to stop her from toppling over, but
just gonna let
you could at least say look out.
Gonna let everyone sleep it off at my place and then head back down through the secret castle passage to I should also pass along a message to the Castellanters that the open Lord of Waterdeep was taken by surprise by the authorization to use the tunnel.
But has since authorized you to use it herself.
But has since approved authorization.
Yeah. All right. That's a good message to pass along. The servant who gets it is like, the what?
No, the servants aren't supposed to read the notes.
Yeah,
Sounds
I should probably just encode these. And
Yeah, okay. If it's
on paper, yeah.
For whatever reason, my brain was just like literally talking to somebody to pass the message along. So
No, let's not play the telephone game.
For a brief moment, I forgot paper existed.
I mean, it happens. Sometimes it's not paper, but parchment.
Yes. Speaking of which, Lander, you will get your maps back from Durnan.
Nice.
Who looks extremely pleased with what he's got so far.
Yeah, I added in a legend.
Yeah.
I noticed the previous ones didn't have it.
Well, the previous one was written by a kid, so...
That's, yeah. Not bad for a kid, though.
No, not bad. He was a bit rushed and dealing with some other stuff.
I was really worried about that reporting to Pocket thing, but then I realized, then I'm really happy with being able to pass along that technically true information.
Yes, it is better to tell a weird truth than to just lie to her.
Yeah, or avoid her, yeah.
Yes, you definitely don't want to avoid her.
No.
Anywho.
Pocket is my boss, and the person Usk fears.
The person who broke your arm.
Oof.
Or arms, I should say.
Oh yeah, the Pocket was the person who broke my arms when I tried to steal from them.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a mean one.
I just realized her name is Pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, head of security for the Castellanters, that's not going to be a nice person.
No. And with it's Pahket. She's a oh shoot, what is the name of those celestial? It's the tiefling.
Aguilar.
Yeah, she's an Aasimar. With a very noticeable throat scar. So, yeah, y'all will head back to Usk's place and have a nice peaceful slumber to sleep off the drunkenness of half of you.
Usk is stone cold sober.
Someone has to be.
I don't think Lander's ever had a drink of alcohol this life.
Probably not, but Lander is also frequently drunk on science.
Yeah.
Listen,
Well,
Jhank drank to forget, Yuliy drunk to remember.
Yeah, that's...
It's fine. I'm preparing for the future.
What a weird
And
thing.
Hollyhock drank to drink.
Hollyhock drank because she likes challenges.
Yes. See, we make a wonderful little triangle of wonderful fun.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. It's fairly easy for y'all to get back. You're actually pretty close to Usk's place anyway. It becomes evening. The streets start to empty out. It's, midwinter, so people are trying to avoid being out in the cold, especially as it gets dark. The evening air has a noticeable effect on Yuliy, Jhank, and Hollyhock in that they don't the two who are unconscious don't really wake up exactly, but they definitely sort of get a little more rigid. And Hollyhock, there's a brief moment where it seems like Yuliy weighs way more than she actually does, and Hollyhock sort of slumps. She's just like, ugh.
Hollyhock is an elf, right?
Yes, she is a wood elf.
Are wood elves cold-blooded?
No.
I don't think any of
I'm
them are.
actually resistant to cold damage, so I don't know what you're talking about.
You're resistant to cold damage, but you're not resistant to being slightly uncomfortable by the cold air.
Yeah.
It won't kill you, but it will make you go,
Yeah.
To be fair, a lot of things make Yuliy do that.
That's fair. Alrighty. You all sleep, and it is pleasant. There's no odd dreams. There's no strange happenings. For once, things seem all right, even though the situation is definitely not exactly gotten better. You do feel a little bit more well rested than usual. It is a new day. How would you like to begin?
I had
I'll
the
make some
most
tea.
terrible nightmare.
You're
Make
still a
some tea for
mushroom.
the hangovers.
Sorry, what was that?
I'm gonna make some tea for the people with hangovers.
Sounds good.
You're still a mushroom.
Where'd you get that idea?
Like you.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Just
Let's
drink
not-
this.
Let's not provoke Zhang's aggressive denial today.
What was this? I mean, where's you get? Because my dream, because my
You
nightmare.
also lost.
You're fine. Don't worry about it.
You also lost the competition. I win.
Well, you
One
lost
zero.
first. Hollyhock stepped in afterward.
Shush.
All right, fine. Jhank lost first, then you lost to Hollyhock. Hollyhock is the overall winner. That's all that matters.
Yes, that's all that matters.
I
That
am
is fine.
confused. I am confused right now.
Doesn't
We had a
matter.
drinking
Drink this.
contest. You lost.
And now you're both hungover. So
You are well rested is exactly the kind of power fantasy we D&D for.
No kidding. Mood.
Big
mood. Food.
Biggest mood.
Oh.
I mean, let's face it. Do we sound well rested?
It's been a month.
Yeah.
I'm all right.
It's been 8.
I'm fine.
Anywho.
All right.
So it's a new day. You've got a little while before you absolutely have to be back down in Skullport.
So breakfast, stock up on essential supplies, and head back down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drink tea, read through Usk's encrypted diaries.
Hey.
Drink more alcohol.
Can I get some of that tea?
Yeah. Made enough for everyone.
Good.
Jhank is going to not have any of the tea.
Weird.
He is going to he's going to make the most of his hangover.
Enjoy your headache.
Okay.
Enjoy your headache.
Make the most of his hangover, he said.
I'm going to enjoy
the
this
head-
leaf
Does
juice.
the headache count as disease or poison?
I think it counts as exhaustion.
Yeah.
Hard.
But I'm not gonna deal with that right now. I don't want to. Exhaustion as a mechanic is both cool and kind of sucks. So I don't really want to deal with it right at this moment.
Nah, I'm making jokes.
Yeah.
So, all right. I mean, I will assume that those with hangovers wake up slightly later in the day. So,
Yep.
the rest of you, which I guess will include Hollyhock because you didn't get quite enough to get that plastered, are up earlier in the morning and have an opportunity to do anything else if there is anything. Otherwise,
I did the things I wanted to do.
all right.
You want to play catch with Mage Hand?
No. My mage hand is for
Pause there.
serious business.
I mean, catch is serious business.
No,
Playing a competition.
I'm not a competitive person.
All right. That's fair.
Which
Unless
I
it
guess
comes to cards or chess.
I'm good at them. Doesn't mean I'm necessarily like I have to be the best at them.
Let me just go here
Yeah.
into my notes where it says
To be fair, we did concede the loss after I got lucky.
Usk versus Brightwood. Victories 1 Brightwood, 0 Usk.
And I'm okay with that.
That's more of me being competitive and not wanting to lose.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's a difference between be willing to compete and being like needing to compete.
Yeah. I get it.
Which apparently is
I'm the best at getting it.
Yeah, some people are just prone to boredom.
All right.
So do whatever they can to negate it.
Yes. All right. So, are there any businesses you wish to go for, or is it just sort of a general restocking supply?
general restocking, I think.
Okay.
Do I have any books I need to return anywhere?
None that you didn't check out like literally yesterday.
I've also got some books I could sell.
Yes, theoretically.
I've got 2 of those books of Shar clerical magic. Sell one of those. And I think those are the only books I have on me at the moment, actually. At least in my inventory.
Yes, I think I forgot to add.
What was that other kind of book I got? Was it Transmutation?
Yeah, it was
Abjuration?
a book on transmutation. I think I forgot to send that, like, put that in your inventory. I'm pretty sure it was transmutation. I will.
It might have been Conjuration.
Well, I bet I can find out if I just type Asian into our private chat. It was the book of 5 elements, fragments of ether, and communication with primordial forces.
So Conjuration.
Yeah. I will go ahead and I'm going to just put that in your bag.
All right.
There we go. Okay, now it's there, and it weighs 2 pounds.
It's a heavy book.
It's a heavy book.
Heavy.
With that title?
I mean, to be fair, the Book of Share Magical Cleric weighs like 5
Mm-hmm.
or 2.5 since there's 2 of them.
Yeah, it's 2.5.
Hard to say.
There's 2 of them, so it's 2.5.
All right.
Because it goes up with all of it. Anyway, that's in your inventory now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really need to offload like half of this stuff.
Well, there's opportunities to do that, both here and in Skullport.
Yeah.
All right. We can discuss, actual, like, what all you grab in your inventory and stuff another time if you don't have a particular place you want to shop. So, with that, I suppose let's get you all back down to Skullport, shall we?
I'm
Yep.
surprised a water skin weighs 5 pounds.
When it's full of water?
Yeah, water is heavy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Considering that 5 pounds is half the weight of my cat, that's not actually all that heavy.
Yeah. But compared to the other things in my inventory,
Let's see. This is just
one of the heavy things.
5 pounds of water is 9.5 cups of water.
I feel like that's quite a bit.
Do you need water?
Sorry,
You need
what?
clean water.
No.
Yeah, you need clean water.
Go figure. My warhammer is somehow only 2 pounds.
That does not seem right.
I've
That
got 10 pounds of
Might
rope.
be off.
I've got a staff that weighs 4 pounds.
Maybe weights aren't the best thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's all bullshit.
Probably.
Welcome to D&D, where the fine details
Not-
are made up and the points don't matter.
Listen.
People who write these books are frequently not economists or mathematicians or interact with things in the physical world on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Listen, the only thing that I know is probably close in weight is my chainmail armor, which says it's 55, and that's probably decent.
Chain
It's
is
a
heavy.
Yeah.
The heaviest
it's
thing
all
that I
a-
have is my leather armor, which is 13 pounds. Then after that, it's the tinker's tools and rope, which is 10 pounds each.
It's all a simulation with compromises made to accommodate game design. Huzzah.
Indeed.
Explain how.
And this is why you're a noodle and I'm not. Because I
A
weigh 50.
5-foot pole weighs absolutely nothing.
That might have been because I put that one in there and I don't bother with weights.
Yeah.
All right. So in Skullport, where would you like to go? Do you want to head back to your standard area or your home base, as it were, or did you have something else you wanted to interact with?
Probably see if Bronwyn's home.
Okay.
Jhank will be going back to the home base.
Yeah, we should probably put this knowledge into the Stone of Galore.
Yeah, that will happen automatically. So, of note, Bronwyn, again, still not, like, she said she's basically not going to be here. So,
Yeah,
that's
she's on the
true.
5th floor.
We'd need to
yeah.
go back to the 5th floor and see if she's got an honor.
Which we
Yeah.
still have to, because that's our lowest floor, so...
She did, however, also say that, like, she would leave some of the stuff there. I think she even specifically said she was leaving the Stone of Galore there for you to interact with if necessary.
There you
Oh,
go.
well.
But it
So here's
doesn't
the question.
I guess that means we'll have to
Did
do the we'll have to do the remove curse ourselves.
Did Yuliy save some of that alcohol that she got so that she could use it again later?
Let's assume this at this point.
Hopefully she did.
I don't think you kind of did it really fast. I don't think you did. You might have to go back and get it. Especially since, it seemed like it was kind of special and maybe not something that would be regularly for sale.
Probably a good idea to go do that before we head down.
Yeah, probably.
All right.
Go do that, Yuliy.
Takes 2 seconds. I need a bottle of what you gave me last night.
Durnan looks confused. Kelpar just nudges Durnan and points out the glass decanter, and Durnan goes, well, that's quite a pricey drink you've selected. I suppose I could part with it for... Why do you need this? You're going on an adventure, aren't you? You really want to take this into the Undermountain?
That's
She needs
exactly
to remember.
why. Drop the platinum, Durnan, please.
It's 10 platinum.
I will drop 20.
Don't do 20.
Durnan will look at it, sigh, and say, well, we've had good times, old friend. Take good care of it, please.
I will take care of it as if it was my own child.
Kind of weird that you drink your own child.
You know what? I was trying to make it be meaningful and important. You ruined it. This is why I don't take you anywhere anymore.
I mean, we don't know how tieflings raise their children.
I don't know how tieflings raise their children either.
I don't think any of us know how anyone raises their children.
Durnan was initially going to push back the other 10 platinum, but Kelpar brings out a sheet of paper from yesterday with the amount that everyone has drunk, and Durnan quietly pockets all of it.
Kelpar work there?
Off and on.
Okay.
When they're in town, yeah. But otherwise, they vary between working there and just sort of delivering stuff elsewhere.
Bringing
stuff in. Yeah. Winter is a bad time to do shipping.
That's fair.
So,
yeah.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
I'm forgetting that it's winter.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, when you're underground, that kind of doesn't matter as much.
Yeah.
You know where you don't have to worry about winter?
Feywilds? Well,
Neverember.
I mean, you are technically correct.
Yeah.
that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
You are technically correct. The best kind of correct.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry.
Eyes rolling
You
across
shouldn't
the
be.
floor.
Boy, someone should pick those up.
But Tish again. All right, so give me a moment to put the decanter of brandy onto the list.
The list.
Yuliy's wine rack.
So be fair, as long as it goes into the font, it won't ever go away.
Yep.
If I use it not in the font, it will go away. But that's why.
Right.
Oh, I
Which
had
is
been
why I
wondering.
specified as long as it goes into the font. What have you been wondering?
Oh, like why you weren't worried about any of the alcohols running out.
Oh yeah, as long as it's in the font, it just refills in the bottle afterwards.
Like I don't pay close attention to everyone's gimmicks.
It's only been brought up like once, and that was really early on. So
It was brought up when I explained it, but the way that Din had posted it in is that basically it pours in and then the bottle that was used refills itself and then seals itself up.
yeah.
So if I put alcohol in the font, I'm like eternally having alcohol forever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's just unlike Sola's version, it hits way harder and is sometimes more unpleasant.
Yeah, well, you have to suffer for great power, great responsibility, something.
Yeah,
I heard.
getting drunk is a great responsibility.
Right?
Sorry, since it's a wine rack, what I heard was grape power and grape responsibility.
Not wrong either,
Not technically wrong, but very dumb on my part.
but this is the title.
Yeah.
No,
Thunder Mountain.
It's quite
I don't think
specific.
it is.
I don't know if it will be.
Pungent of the Mad Mage.
I don't really feel like that's maybe a good session name.
No.
Probably not.
Okay, so you are going to check out Bronwyn's home. All right. It is
Except for Jhank, who's going to the main base.
except for Jhank, who is going to sit out.
I figured he'd go work on the locks. Keep his mind off things.
She's not even going to be here.
The door opens and the place is surprisingly clean. It seems
that's
Cleaner
concerning.
than she left it.
it's you can, among other things, you know that very few people would be stupid enough to just like go in and take stuff from her,
Yeah.
given the
They'd get
sheer
cursed.
volume of curses.
I mean, I can totally believe that if she's going to spend a while in a place, that she would take her entire hoard with her.
Yeah. It's not completely empty, but there's a lot of stuff gone. And sitting in the back of the room is one of those very big treasure chests that y'all have seen in the astral plane.
Oh, right. She can just move it wherever she wants.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The chest, upon seeing you lot, makes a jingling noise with its locks and opens up, and the Stone of Galore is coughed out.
Oh.
Wow.
Who wants
Well,
it this time?
Well, do we have enough information to give it? That's no.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've got a few.
we learned a lot of
things.
stuff.
I'll take it. I know what question. I know at least one of the questions I want to ask.
Okay.
Well,
Oh yeah,
what
questions.
what are the questions that we're asking, just so we're not wasting
How
time
do
on
we?
it?
How do we
Forgot
get?
about those.
How do we get to the Horde of Lord Neverember? I think is kind of the big one.
Well, it's split in 5 pieces, so it could just.
The former.
Where
okay.
was it?
Where?
Oh.
Yes. Where was the Horde of
original
Lord
resting place
Neverember
Before we
when we
stole
were
it.
searching for it?
So, where is the original resting
before we
place of
stole
the
it.
horde?
Because we are still searching.
Where
for
did
it.
Lord Neverember hide his horde? I think is
There
probably
we
the
go.
simplest and grammatically precise enough way to put it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And we get a
just-
second one.
We get 3.
Two.
Well, I think-
that was the
well,
nature of our
two.
deal.
Yeah, the deal with Bronwyn. She gets 1, we get 2.
Oh, yeah.
Do not cross a dragon. We will taste good with ketchup.
And this
Oh,
is
no.
and this is so that like the stone is, you know, kept fed and happy
Mm-hmm.
by someone who knows how to handle it and has the sheer power to handle it. So I think that again this deal works out great for everyone involved. But yes, need a second question.
Also,
I
please,
feel like
you might want to write them down in notes so that 1, I can see them and best answer them, and 2, so that you have them forever.
I might have had a question like a few months ago, but I probably forgot.
Unfortunate, sorry.
No, that's fine. If I forgot, it wasn't important.
Mm.
All right. So where did Lord Neverember hide his horde? It's some kind of knowledge that we need.
That's the fastest way
Maybe
down.
maybe we just ask it. Where did Lander hide his share of the horde? just search for more detail on that.
Yeah,
Because
fair enough.
that's kind of the last one we need. We need some
I
better
guess.
answers on.
Well, you still need victors.
They'll
That's-
never get it.
It's in one of the 2 churches.
That's true.
probably.
Yeah, where did Victor and Lander hide their shares of the hoard? I think getting more details on that would be,
Fair enough.
narrowing the
gaming
scope
the
on
system.
that would be.
So I was just typing that into a thing. Where did Lord Neverember hide his hoard? And I accidentally typed where did Lord Neverember?
Lord Neverember.
Lord Neverember.
Yeah.
I want
Me.
all the ham.
Give me just a few moments. So, okay.
Where did Victor and Lander hide their shares of the dragons taken from Lord Neverember's hoard?
Okay.
Those are the two questions I'm going to ask.
Okay. Give me a few minutes to get everything sort of settled. There's sort of a chain of events that happens with this. Okay. Usk, as you take hold of the Stone of Galore, you feel that same magical charge surging through you. And you feel a clarity in your mind that was not present beforehand. You feel as though looking around this room, despite the fact that so many of these items are cursed and desired to be used by various people, none of that has any sort of sway on you. You can identify which ones are attempting to charm you or frighten you, and they have no effect.
Ooh.
However, as that sort of feeling processes, you begin to feel all of your limbs fighting harder and harder against gravity, and the clothing on you feels heavier and heavier. And you weigh... Let me do this. You weigh 40 more pounds now.
Yikes.
So it's just... You are now denser, and everything is starting to... it is exhausting just to hold on to this stone.
Yikes.
He is now a big bear.
Oh boy. All right.
Aside from that, the stone speaks into your head.
Okay.
And to no one else.
Good.
Okay. I've been wondering if I should just read it out or just relay it. It's probably more realistic to just relay it. But I do like the writing here.
Well, thank you. I mean, if you want, I can read it out. But
Yeah, just read it out. I'm not gonna hide anything, and I want.
all right. The pickpocket has a spare hand to lend once more. Your bargain with the dragon is most appreciated. I've not fed so well in some time, and the questions she's asked have almost given me reason to pause. And this news, now I understand why the taste of your knowledge has always borne a tinge of foulness. I had suspicions, but I have always hated any sense of uncertainty.
Yeah, I hope you like mushrooms on your pizza.
To answer your questions, the Vault of Dragons had many locations, as Lord Neverember was a paranoid scoundrel. But its final resting place was in the grasp of death's icy hand, beneath the darkest heart of the city, yet away from this dank hole of filth. Neverember found bitter irony in the fact that despite a lifetime of his best efforts, he could not take it with him. As for the bounty of your associates, both bargained to have their share held by those with more power than sense. The Devils of Dis did not feel comfort in parading a corpse into their kingdom, and thus arranged to leave the fake here, in the very place he was slain, with a guard for the day the Warlock claimed his bounty. The Druid found kinship with the guard of the vault, a fellow believer in the supposed old ways, and thus gold remained with gold.
Well, that's useful to know.
The Devils of Dis do not feel comfort in parading a corpse into their kingdom, and thus arranged to leave the fake here, in the very place he was slain, with a guard for the day the Warlock claimed his bounty.
And that guard, and all of this, including Victor and I shares, it sounds like, are in that vault.
The druid found kinship with the guard of the vault, a fellow believer of the supposed old ways, and thus gold remained with gold.
So it sounds like Victor and I's shares are together. What do you know?
I hate the position that I'm in.
What position does this leave you?
The position is Avis. Yeah, the position is Avis knows the original Waterdeep Dragon Heist book, and thus might understand what I meant a little bit more.
I do, so it's why I'm like, I know this. It's like, oh, but I can't say that. I know exactly what this means.
I hope this is enjoyable to anyone else who's aware of how that book plays out, but understands that the rest of us don't. I don't know anything about the book.
I mashed two books together, and I hope they work.
I do love mashing books together and dealing with the consequences.
It's a Franken module.
It is a Franken module.
Yes.
It is entirely my jam to just, like, mash things together and enjoy the consequences. Alright, so it looks like we do need to hunt down Lord Neverember's hoard. Turns out that was actually on the docket after all, and thank goodness we might not have to necessarily go into this for that.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't it mean
at
it's
the very least
here? We have to go back up.
Yeah, sounds like it. Might be in some sort of crypt.
So the wording is, its final resting place was in the grasp of death's icy hand, beneath the darkest heart of the city, yet away from the Undermountain, the stank hole of filth, I take it. So not the Undermountain, but beneath the darkest heart of the city.
It's under the city. It's under the city, but it's not in Undermountain, so it's still technically, if we want to think about it, it's still technically considered part of the city. If you have to separate Undermountain from.
So the two key phrases here, the two key cryptic phrases are in the grasp of death's icy hand and beneath the darkest heart of the city.
Probably City of the Dead.
City of the Dead?
Yeah.
Sounds pleasant.
I don't know anything about that.
So we're on the east side, above the Trades Ward, Waterdeep East players.
Oh, that does kind of make a certain amount of sense in a National Treasure sort of way.
I don't know whether to be offended or pleased by that, Spud.
I'll leave that to you.
I choose please.
As for the darkest heart, I don't know much about the City of the Dead, so maybe there's some sort of statue or something.
I mean, this city's got a lot of skeletons and a lot of closets is kind of the problem.
We built this city. We built this city on crimes and crimes.
Good grief.
Okay.
We built this city on a burial ground, and now we're haunted.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what else would you call Skullport right now?
Oh, goodness. All right. So, wow, that does kind of neatly tie things together, although I don't know why yet, but Avis does.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we are hunting down Lord Neverember's hoard.
I will say
There'll be a corpse there, probably.
I will say real fast, I don't think the Stone of Galore would have separated them if they were in the same place.
Okay, yeah. That's fair. It's very possible that my bounty is just the corpse.
Just the corpse?
Something having to do with the corpse. Chances are the corpse is in the vault.
Well, okay. The Druid found kinship with the guard of the vault. I'm assuming that means the Lord Neverember's vault.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it's possible that the guard of the vault and the guard of the corpse are different people. That is a possibility.
That's what I assumed.
Yeah. For some reason, I assumed they were the same.
I mean, I used the word guard twice in a short paragraph, so it's understandable.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. That's why I felt I should probably clarify.
Saves on manpower to just have the same person do the different job. It's both guarding.
Yeah, well, we were trying to backstab each other a few times before, so.
Yeah.
And at least more than one of us was like, they'll never think to go back.
I mean, to be fair, it took a while.
Funny that the two people who thought of that are the two people who transpose bodies, so
Yeah.
like Lost Brothers.
Huh. Well,
All right,
we've come
so
down
there's your-
here to refresh our curse, so...
To be
Yeah.
fair, we could be relatives. It's a possibility.
Could be. I don't know.
As far-fetched as that sounds.
I guess we're going to retrace the steps of the dragon heist
Okay.
to find the other 2/5 of the hoard we still haven't identified.
All right.
Yeah.
And to be fair, there's one section of it that you just flat out cannot get right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, that's still far and away, and we'll have to convince them to let go of it when we get there, even if it's with
Yeah.
political favors.
By hook or by
Mhm.
crook.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
and then
that's
and then after all of that effort, we still have to come up with another 500k.
Well,
Why do we still,
not necessarily after all of it. Could
Why
be
do
at
we
the
still
same
have to-
time as it.
why do
I
we still
mean,
have to come up
during
with
it.
500k?
Because they need to pay off Asmodeus
$1 million.
$1 million.
Oh, and the treasure we have isn't quite there.
No,
Half of
yeah,
that.
yep.
Yeah.
We have 500k is what
Between
the
the
Dragon
five
Horde
of
was.
us, we stashed away 500k.
All right, yeah, and the last section of the treasure we really can't claim. We really can't even try to claim that until we are guaranteed.
Until
the rest
your
of it
ship comes
anyway.
in.
Yep.
And until the ship comes in, and we can guarantee we have the rest ready and standing by.
And can convince them to let go of it in exchange for who knows what.
In exchange for something more.
We'll
Yeah.
figure it out when we get to there.
Convince them that prestige is worth more than wealth.
Well, who wants to go dance in a graveyard?
I guess. All right.
Sure.
So I'm pulling up the
I mean,
the map.
less
of,
to do there since you banned me from necromancy, but yeah.
It's the city of the dead in the east, along the eastern wall of the city. That's where we're thinking this starts. Somewhere in there is the darkest heart.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
beneath Death's icy grasp, I mean, the only other thing I would think is like, I don't know, like the harbor somewhere underwater, but
Tax office. I don't know.
Turns out it's
yeah, a Lord of Waterdeep would probably think that it was the most evil place in the city.
I mean, I think the Open Lord of Waterdeep would benefit from taxes, if you ask me. But
Well, that's true. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he wasn't just some noble that had to pay taxes. He was the guy collecting the taxes.
Mhm.
All right.
I mean, yeah, when you're collecting taxes, I mean, they're the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, and it just occurred to me that like the organization we fought along the way to this is planning to return to Waterdeep, so we're just gonna fully like relive. This is gonna be round 2, the comeback tour of the Dragon Heist.
Taxes, the best thing before sliced bread.
So yeah, I guess that's the plan.
All right.
That's pretty concrete. I'll be honest, that was more concrete than I was expecting the Stone of Galore to give us.
The stone is very pleased with what you've done. It won't last.
Well, especially now that we have to do the whole remove curse thing
Oh,
to
yeah,
drop it and put
speaking
it
of-
back. Please
Do we
that.
want to see if the stone will just break the attunement on its own, so it doesn't have to go through the pain of me casting remove curse?
Oh, yeah, can we just like agree to deattune?
Well, give me a moment.
That's not one of my questions.
It doesn't matter. The stone can only communicate with you psychically.
That's true.
what's your charisma save?
Right?
It's +2. It's not bad.
Decent. No,
Plus-
not bad at all.
It's
I've
plus
got
5.
a pretty like middle of the road jack of all trades ability spread here.
My dude, if you're within 10 feet of me, it's +5.
Oh, nice.
I've got
Yeah.
I've got a charisma save of -1.
Mine's +9.
Wow.
Well, yes, but you're specialized for that.
Mine's +8, but I also don't always have that paladin bonus.
Everybody loves Yuliy.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
fantastic and amazing. Please continue to shower me with praise.
But yeah, if part of the deal with the dragon was that like we stopped making this such a hostile thing. Just sort of
Yeah.
agree
Fun
to
time, just find Yuliy.
agree to trade information and keep you fed.
Yeah. My stats are I've got really good charisma, pretty bad strength, and mediocre everything else.
Listen, as long as everyone's happy and having a good time and the world is a wonderful place, then it doesn't matter what's happening.
I'm always at least like 1.5 of those.
It doesn't matter what's happening as long as only good things are happening. Got it.
Right?
I can no
Can't
more
be
willingly
good
separate
without
from
the
you
bad.
to be alone than you can spread an idea to an audience of none. So we got to do the remove curse.
Okay.
If Bronwyn were here, she could probably do it, but she's not, so we'll have to do it.
If Bronwyn were here, she could just take the stone from you.
That's true.
I mean,
yeah.
technically speaking, you could hop through the treasure chest and go to her.
Yeah, you could.
I'll be right
But then
back.
I probably shouldn't be making such suggestions since I'm not there.
It'd be an inconvenience because she might not be able
Take your time and find out what's in the chest.
Oh, boy.
I'll go.
All right. You go through. Well, actually, here's a very important question.
Here's a question. No, you go first.
Okay. Do you want to go through this chest, or do you want to go back through the one you're familiar with?
I
the other
think
one.
I would, at least initially, not quite have that kind of foresight and go through the big chest first.
Before this, though, would it be possible to just... Because, like, you don't just get... Letting go of the stone is a thing you can do, and it doesn't break the attunement.
Mhm.
So, Galder Speedy Curry it over to her.
I suppose, yeah.
Costs 25 gold, but
We're not hurting for
Other than
cash.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to do a spell slot for it, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
this
mean,
is-
I'll
this
take
is-
a short rest before we go back in.
I just don't want you walking off with the stone.
That's also true.
I
I'm
mean,
also like moving sluggishly right now.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
All right.
your
Yeah.
spell slots come back with short rest, right?
Yep.
All right then.
That's probably how long it's going to take for you to get back.
Hold on. Okay, sorry. I was double checking how the spell worked. So yeah, that should work. So
Mm.
okay. So you cast the spell.
Husk
Yeah.
puts it in the box, and poof.
Yep. It goes. The air elemental is summoned. Opens up its small chest. The stone is deposited. Closes the chest. You still feel that connection, Usk.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just sinks through the floor. You don't. It takes a few minutes, despite even being a speedy courier. The Undermountain is still very large.
Yeah.
And after a few moments, you feel something disconnect. And I need, what is it?
All right.
I need a wisdom saving throw.
La-dee-da. Do I get a bonus to that?
No.
I mean, if you're standing next to Yuliy.
Yes.
Oh wait, yes, sorry. You're right. I forgot you are standing next to Yuliy, so yes. Yuliy,
12.
what's your bonus?
I already added it. Plus
Oh, you already did?
It's my charisma 8+3.
You do not know.
Right. Okay.
You unfortunately, as soon as that disconnect happens, you don't understand what even happened.
Oh, well,
All right. Let's
lost my
catch you up to
five-
speed.
Last 5 minutes
Everything-
are blur.
Well, we wrote
Catch
it
you
down.
up to speed.
Yeah, tell me. Yeah, you just tell me, and it's like, oh, okay, cool, that's great, good news.
Exposition dump.
Yay! Thank
But
God
also
for
because
other people.
also because I am a little curious, I am going to briefly enter the big chest.
Okay. You enter the larger chest and feel that familiar sensation of entering the astral plane. And when the chest opens, you find yourself once again sort of floating near weightless in this other realm. You can see there's another smashed chest. It's far off. It's in a different direction than the one you'd previously encountered. And you feel the air, or what counts for air in this realm, shifting. Roll perception.
Which is never my strongest suit.
You don't see anything out of place, but you can feel the hair on the back of your neck beginning to stand up.
And there's not a small amount of it.
No, there's
It's a
not.
very strange sight.
Something feels wrong.
Well,
Trust
that
your instincts. Get out of there.
feels bigger than I can deal with, so back through the chest. Out of
Roll
the
That was
astral.
fast.
stealth.
Oh, I am slightly better at that.
Yes.
And I didn't roll terribly on it.
All right. The chest closes, and you almost hear it make the various locks on it start to jingle, and you manage to put just enough pressure on them to not have any extra sound happen.
Oh yeah, just
And you're
hold the lock steady for a bit as it opens and closes.
yeah. So you get back, and there are no noticeable. Nothing seems to happen. Now let me check one other thing real fast.
Nothing seems to happen as far as I know.
Yes.
I got out of there just fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
Everything is fine.
So does
Sorry.
anyone have like a message sending ritual? Does anyone have sending?
No, well, I can call her
level
Speedy
5.
Courier. Just a note.
Yeah, maybe do another one of those to be like, hey, I found another smashed chest in the astral realm, and I'm pretty sure something noticed me when I poked through the chest.
Uh-oh.
Do you need to go with a buddy?
I'm pretty sure there's something bigger. I felt something wrong, very big and very wrong in there, and whatever it is, I think it's bigger than us. I think it's Bronwyn sized.
Victor and Jhank. You hear
Jhank is not
some.
here.
Oh, right. Jhank isn't here, so it's just Victor. I'm sorry. For a brief moment, I thought Jhank was here. I was checking everybody's passive perception. In this case,
Jhank is at home.
sorry. Sorry. Victor, you hear something almost imperceptible. As everyone else is sort of discussing, you hear something coming from that chest. It sounds like scratching, perhaps. Do you investigate?
I put a hand up first to get everybody's attention. And I whisper to them, something scratching on the other side of the box.
Sounds like we should leave.
I reach for my daggers and slowly approach the chest.
I would suggest slowly backing away from the chest.
I mean, if this is bigger than us.
Yeah, but if we can tell Bronwyn what it is and what we saw and then book it, might be helpful.
How about we just leave the owl here?
Did y'all hear that?
The voice? Yeah.
I know you're there.
You know what? The owl sounds like.
To clarify something, it is not a voice.
In the brain?
These letters are being carved into the chest from the other side.
Well, that sounds terrifying.
That is mildly terrifying.
I know you're there. You cannot hold me forever. A ghostly claw carves into the chest from beyond the plane.
Yeah, that sounds like something we should let Bronwyn know about.
Yeah.
Write a quick note. Be like, so something noticed me, and now it's carving messages into the chest about how it can't be held forever. So, yeah. Just gonna you speedy carrier that note, please.
Yeah, it's yeah. Let's go.
And we just kind of go.
We leave. Yeah. Bye.
We have got our own kind of big mission to deal with. That could be Bronwyn's.
Bronwyn, you have other things to deal with.
I mean, if she wants us to, if she thinks we can help, we'll gladly help. But it feels like it might be bigger than us. No offense.
No, that's understandable. I mean,
just close the door behind us.
I'm so curious. I hate this.
Yeah.
So curious. I hate this.
I am readily expecting that there's going to be a moment in the future where this thing is going to burst through and it's going to be the entire town versus this thing.
And see, the thing is that we're kind of approaching the Godzilla threshold there, and I don't want that.
Yeah.
See, you say Godzilla threshold, I'm thinking, okay, that makes it even cooler.
Yeah, you did actually just make that sound like a whole lot of fun.
Sounds like there might be another dragon in there.
We're gonna have a giant Godzilla fight in the underground city of the undead.
So, do you actually say that to the box, Yuliy?
Did you? Oh, come. In Infernal, no less.
Oh boy.
Do you?
I can't take you kids with me anywhere.
That's been the theme of this entire campaign.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you do. Okay.
Rolled a natural 20 on a self-imposed wisdom save. Yeah, I'm going to do it anyway.
You don't know what the slider is.
What, or 21?
I mean, she got 28.
But I mean, just on the 20.
Yeah, so
No,
probably like a DC of 40 or something.
Wisdom is a courage roll. The lower I roll, the less likely I am to do a thing.
That was the context. How brave do you feel?
How brave do I feel? Very brave. Come at me.
That doesn't necessarily sound like wisdom, though.
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe trying telepathy, but I don't know if that would work.
That might have been a charisma.
That might be very bad.
You know,
you want to add another +1 to it? Okay.
That might be where like the charisma save actually makes sense. Is like how brave how strong of personality do you feel to take this on?
I'm still doing it.
Rolling wisdom for a charisma brave check, knowing that it's not the right thing to roll, seems very on brand here.
That also does sound very on brand for you.
Listen, I've been rolling wisdom for my. I've been rolling bravery. I've been rolling wisdom for bravery since I started doing it.
Yeah,
fair enough.
And you almost always go through with it.
Just taunt the extraplanar angry being.
I'm not taunting it. This isn't taunting.
You're telling it to name itself when its previous words were, "I'm getting out of here." And it's like, yeah, who are you?
Yeah, listen, it's being a shit. I want it to say who it is that it thinks that it can do this.
I don't want to be on its shit list.
Long ago, I'm guessing.
Listen, we're already on from those written.
Oh, hello. You took that from me when you killed me.
Okay.
Yeah, this is beyond us.
Listen, we're already on its shit list.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it looks like we were already in trouble with it, regardless.
Yeah.
That gives me a few theories.
Yeah.
This seems.
See, aren't you glad I did this now?
This seems
No.
like the.
No.
So, do you think it's the eldest son of the Castellanters, or do you think it's Manchun, or do you think it's someone that we don't know and they're just confusing us for Bronwyn?
The original Bronwyn.
There are a lot of people that we potentially could have killed that we haven't learned about yet.
The Home Depot.
Yeah, who
10-foot tall
has
skeleton
the
in
grudge
closet.
here? Is it? I will reclaim it when I take your head.
Ereshkigal.
Ereshkigal.
Whoops, I was muted. Yes, Ereshkigal.
About Ereshkigal?
I don't have any
Sounds like
context for
Yuliy
that.
knows what. I mean, sounds like Avis knows what that is.
No, y'all have context for it because you heard it like a day ago from Bronwyn.
Oh,
Remember that?
forgotten.
Remember that word that kind of rewoke your ability to speak Draconic? Ask.
Oh, yeah. When I suddenly realized I knew more languages than just Common and Goblin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of those names you heard in Bronwyn's conversation.
Oh, when Bronwyn was talking to the young dragon that we were trying to stop, this was one of the one of the names that came up.
Yes, it is.
Listen, I'm freaking out because I know the context of that name outside of D&D.
Oh, yeah.
I have fears.
All right, so the note's going to include this entire exchange. And we're leaving now.
Yes.
Before anyone else gets any smart ideas.
And this is all carved just into the chest. So if Bronwyn ever comes back, she will see this.
Yeah, but we're going to let her know why it's there so that she's not like, what did you do? I drag Yuliy out of the house as she's taunting the chest.
Listen, it's hard work to get carved profanities out of wooden chests. And I'm not going to be the one who has to pay the damages.
Stop the conversation. Because that's what's causing it to continue.
There's a brief moment where the air around you seems to still completely, and briefly you all taste ozone.
Ugh. Yeah,
that sounds bad.
The chest collapses in a pile of ash.
Ah, even better. Yeah, he smashed it on the other side. He smashed it on the other side because every one of us pissed him off.
Whoa, what do you mean every one of us?
Jhank wasn't there.
We've all been going through the astral plane in this system that Bronwyn set up, which I guess has been I guess he's been taunted by that we're allowed to go through and keep ourselves, and he's not. Or
so it sounds like Bronwyn used to be named Ereshkigal and then took Bronwyn's name, and now Bronwyn is a Bronwyn, and the dead and the nameless one, Bronwyn's now the nameless one.
Jhank can bear no responsibility for this collapsed chest.
No,
you are actually free and clear.
I mean, yeah, Yuliy takes every responsibility for it.
No, I take some responsibility for like drawing attention to it.
Okay, so it's like
80-20.
I don't care about.
I was thinking more like 30-70.
No, fair.
30% Dusk, 70% Yuliy.
Of course, how much will Yuliy actually take as responsibility?
Depends.
So yes, I write a note detailing this entire sequence of events and ferry that to her as well.
Okay.
I went into the astral plane because initially we thought I would just take it to you directly, but then we got the attention of some nameless thing in there, which carved into the chest to taunt us and promise revenge, and then destroyed the big chest.
Yeah, for some reason, Usk decided it would be a good idea to go check out what was in the big chest even after we already sent the stone. And
I'm
then
not putting
Yuliy
that part
decided
in
to
the
taunt
note.
it further.
You're not the one writing it now,
I'm
are
the
you?
one writing the note. I get to decide what goes in the note.
I'm the one sending it.
Yeah, but you're not the
I can add
one.
whatever I want.
Oh dear.
But anyway, yeah, all right.
Yeah, let's not squabble over the
It's a
little
handwritten
details.
note in my writing.
Yeah.
And
That's
more
going to
than
be
one-
fun to explain to Bronwyn when you meet her again.
More than one note can go into the package. It's like a 3x3, 3x5, 3x3, I think.
Yes, and also paper is very small.
Anyway, that's fine. We'll just let her know the next time she's here.
Next time
Unless
she's
you
here,
want
she's
to
gonna see
just-
this pile of ash.
Completely ignore it.
And now the fun part of the fact that Bronwyn is now short a way to get back.
Oh, yeah.
Details.
Well, she can use our chest.
No, our chest is way too small.
Can't she?
Can't you take a small form?
Taking you?
Can't
has
she?
it. It's her box originally. She can do whatever she wants.
Does she have to use the big chests? Uh-oh.
I mean,
There's a reason why her house has a big chest and we have small chests.
but
Smaller
Because she
chests.
made them? Hers was kind of a...
You know,
Because sometimes
suddenly,
it has to fit a full dragon.
suddenly I'm terrified for Chester and Chestnut.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
No, that's
this guy's threatening our mimic dog. No.
yeah.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
Well,
So, yeah.
we still managed to pass along the message that this was happening, so she can
Yeah.
do something.
Including that the chest was smashed.
Yeah.
That's also going in there.
Alrighty. Well, with those messages passed along and that information gained, y'all can, I suppose, take a short rest to get Lander's spell slots back, both of them.
And just sort of digest everything that happened.
Yeah, to just let all.
And
all
go
that
tell
stuff.
Jhank what happened so he's up to date.
Yeah, also
Have
very
some
important.
tea, read some notes.
Yes, there is definitely time for all of that to happen.
Yes,
You didn't.
When you find Jhank, he is in his room. He is hard at work writing in the book he has.
Yes.
Hmm.
Finally, someone taking some normal freaking notes. Kidding.
Hey, impulse ciphers
'cause-
are very important.
They are very important. Unless you forget them. In which case, you're out of luck.
Unless you're smart enough to figure them out again.
Yep.
Mhm.
We know
We're
Um,
a lot of
lucky enough.
dangerous things.
You do know
Either
a lot
way.
of dangerous things.
Mhm.
Anyways, y'all have time to sort of rest and recuperate. Hollyhock has been with you. She's been a little weirded out by the sheer amount of stuff that she's experienced over the last 24 hours.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Get used to it because it just gets worse.
Oh, you better
We're
be
in the,
bored
we're in
with
the
us.
thick of some wild stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she, when you all go to your home base, she just sort of sits in the kitchen and like she looks deep in thought. But
At some point, we gotta. At some point, we gotta tell her. She needs to find out.
Does she?
I mean, I was going to from the start, but then you guys were like, no, don't.
It was a very bad time.
It's never
There
going
was
to be
a-
a good time.
there was a dragon to deal with.
It
I
would have
mean,
been. It was a worse
there's-
time.
I mean, is there any rule saying we need to tell her?
No, but like the longer we hide it, the worse it's going to be when she does find out.
I could say the same about the responsibility for that chest.
I
won't though.
There's nothing wrong about me peeking into the chest because, well, I didn't know it would happen. I didn't cause it to happen
You know that
on
saying,
purpose.
curiosity killed the cat. You know, there's actually additional thing of that says apparently satisfaction brought it back.
I mean,
I don't know if that applies in this situation.
I have polymorph now, and eventually I can get
It's been
resurrect.
vaguely on our radar that there's been something skulking around in there.
True.
Yeah.
True.
And
And I have been very curious about it.
to clarify something, that's why the thing on the other side assumed that it was Bronwyn and not y'all. That stealth roll, like
Yeah.
that was what basically prevented it from just like tearing into the chest immediately. It thought it had a chance at communication.
Ooh.
It thought wrong.
It thought wrong.
But at least we got something out of it. So it was. This is a bad situation that was already ongoing, and we teased out some more details about it.
Exactly.
Like
That Bronwyn probably already knew,
still,
or at least had a suspicion about.
Still, like.
Anyway,
Now you know enough that she can't just like weasel her way out of talking about it if you decide to question her.
That chest
Yeah.
probably would have been smashed at some point, and me like bringing that on now is just kind of, the random chance of life.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. I believe if I remember properly, the refreshing the sort of curse, dissolving aspect. It actually it's not just you can pop down and then go immediately back up. You actually do have to wait for a while. So, you have, I'll say, 24 hours if you have anything you'd like to do. If you just want to wait, then
I mean, it feels like as long as we're down here, we might as well go back into the dungeon and then go take care of the dragons the next time we need to come back.
I don't think that if we're going, we should go down and make like headway into the dungeon if we're going to come back up to deal with something in Waterdeep. Because then we'll get stuck on something and then we can't finish up what's happening in Waterdeep.
I would agree.
yeah. And with this whole thing with the nameless one in the ethereal plane, there is a chance that we might get stuck in the dungeon.
That's true. We lose our
Okay,
town
that
portal
is-
that way
that is
if
an
that
excellent
escalates.
Yeah.
So, I will point out one thing. A few sessions back, Usk did put up something to let the people of Skullport know that they can, in fact, go up to Waterdeep.
Mm-hmm. I did.
And return.
I did do that.
This means that if you want, you could probably now hire people to take care of some stuff up there for you.
We kind of want... I feel like we kind of want to do the vault searching by ourselves.
Yeah, we want to keep that information amongst ourselves, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I can see the benefit of doing that for other things, but not the hoard.
No.
I understand. I just wanted to at least point that out as a potential option.
We can take on hirelings.
Oh yes, we will remember this for the future.
And it's not just your average hirelings. These are, adventurers of varying kinds.
But also, we'd probably have to pay them more than 200 gold. Unless they have access to the castle's stairs, which I doubt they do.
Yeah, y'all are the only ones who are allowed to use those right now.
So they would have to use the teleportation circles, which are like 100 gold each way.
Yeah.
Well, can't you sail from Skullport to Waterdeep?
Not with the locks broken.
Yeah, that's the issue.
That's
The locks
true.
are currently broken.
Yeah.
So
Once those are fixed, it'll be, cheaper to get a bunch of people around. But for now, the easiest way is the teleportation circle or the steps.
And the cheapest way for us is to take the steps.
Yeah.
And just not hire anyone.
Well, now that that's public knowledge, can't we like drum up more support to get the locks fixed, get more manpower and resources?
You can.
Good, yeah.
And
yeah, because
honestly, in fact, something I was going to bring up, I just hadn't gotten around to describing how Skullport's been lately. The atmosphere of the place does seem a bit livelier, and there are, in fact, you can hear the sound of construction happening over at the locks, and it's more than just one crotchety old elf.
Ooh.
You think we could get a percent of the witch's sales from the teleportation circles since we advertised that whole thing?
No.
Yeah.
She's going to be doing a lot of magical work. I don't think we have a right to the fruits of her labor.
Worth a shot.
Here is how I want to phrase this. Teleportation circles are not supposed to work here. The fact that they do is something that implies either something that is supposed to be very secret or something that makes her extremely dangerous. So trying to sort of blackmail her, not a good idea.
I wouldn't say blackmail, more like just asking, and if it doesn't work, then
You're asking for something that's pretty, like, insulting, though.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's fair. Yeah.
When you take the context of the thing into account.
Yeah.
So yeah, as far as the locks are concerned, they're working with what materials they have. It's pretty clear that like right now they're just sort of keeping things from falling apart more. They definitely need to get more material, which is going to be troublesome given the whole state of things.
Well,
Yeah, I
if we're
think we were going to
spending
have
time-
talks with Xanathar's guild
if
about
we're
that. But
spending time just waiting, Jhank is going to go back to work on the locks, though this time he's actually going to go there without using the disguise. He's just going to head over there as himself to join the group.
All right. Yeah.
I'm going with.
You're going with?
Yep.
All right.
I'm going to pour over my notes.
Okay. We'll have to do that sort of PvP because
Yeah.
I cannot spend another half hour just trying to write stuff.
No, absolutely.
I'm going to try to find
Probably
that...
sometime later.
I'm going to try to find that
Drink
monk
at
that
some point,
Jhank
but
pissed
now.
off.
Probably closer to the end of the hiatus.
Okay. All right. So, and Victor, what would you like to do?
Well, I guess I'm the last one left. I guess I'll go talk to Holly and try to explain to her the situation with her sister.
Well, if you're gonna do
Wait,
that,
well, if you're going
that's
to do
not
that,
something
we want
you
to
should
we want to
do
be all there
alone.
for that.
Yeah.
Unless you, at least let us know that you're going to do that.
I mean, I could let you know. Yeah, I don't have anything else really I need to do.
I
If you
mean,
want to take that on by yourself, I'll let you.
you could
just-
talk to your goddess.
Can't think of anything to really say right now. I think I got a lot of questions already answered.
Hey, just checking in, see how you're doing.
You doing okay? You need some water?
I've got an infinite supply of it.
I mean, everybody likes it when a loved one calls.
I suppose that's true.
But
Except
yeah,
for me, I
if-
hate phone calls.
Yeah, no,
Get a lot of them.
Oh,
I
God,
would
yeah.
assume as much.
All right, if you want to spill the beans to Hollyhock while we're all away, just let me know that you're going to do that, and I'll be like, yeah, best of luck.
Jhank
Yeah.
is leaving Crunchbite with Hollyhock while he goes off to do lock work.
I just
Okay.
want to think of a good way to break it to her.
I
'Cause I don't
think
wanna
between all of
just-
us, Victor probably has like the gentle demeanor to do it the best, honestly.
I also have
If
the
I-
biggest
if-
stake because a lot of it was kind of my fault. Sort of my fault.
Well, I mean, maybe Hollyhock coming back, not so much everything else with Dahlia.
I mean, I would tell y'all. In any case.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. So here's the series of events. I will say, Lander, obviously, you are going to be dealing with your bevy of work. Just send me a PM as far as which specific thing you'd like to look at this point. Which sort of school of magic / patron you're interested in. Go ahead.
I'm probably going to wait until like closer to when the hiatus ends so that it's not just something that happens a month or two ago and it's more recent in my mind.
Okay, understandable. Jhank, Yuliy, you get over there, and that aforementioned old elf is currently, directing what a just motley little crew. There's a dwarf. There's a Aasimar. My brain shorted out. I was going to say Celestial again. I meant Aasimar. There's 2 tieflings who seem to be twins. And there's an Arakocra, interestingly enough, who looks very displeased to be stuck in this cave. And he's working ferociously, but it's also very clear that he is making up for in passion what he lacks in skill. And the elf sort of looks to you, Jhank, and goes, it's you again! Alrighty, well, let's see. Why don't you... I trust you already. You've been helping out.
Me.
Well, yeah, you came and helped out earlier.
Well, no, because Jhank's there. He's not wearing his disguise now, and he was...
I'm pretty sure the first time you went there, you
weren't in disguise.
Oh.
Yeah, the first time you...
Okay, then
forget... The first time was before the monk.
Forget Jhank said that.
No worries. It's been a while since it's been more directly commented on, I think.
Okay.
He points to you, Jhank, and says, well, you've been doing some good work around here, so why don't you sort of direct things on the east side and magic on you, miss. You know anything about runes? He's pointing at you, Yuliy.
I'm trying to decide whether I actually would know that.
You should ask your dad. He might know.
He probably would, but he's also busy, and you can't always ask your parents for help when you can't do a thing.
Dad, can you do my homework?
Dad, can you do my homework? Dad, I'm stuck at work and I can't do this. Can you cross plane and do my work for me?
Dad, can you help me out with this construction contract I got roped into?
The real talk. Are there are there rooms?
I think you would be familiar with some amount of magic just because some of your magical weaponry has runes and stuff on them. Yeah. I don't know that you'd necessarily be fully competent at it, but you might be able to at the very least use some of your magic to help strip away the rust and stuff on the metallic parts of it and make it able to be fixed better.
So yes. In character, I imagine Jhank being thrilled at the idea of having a role of being in charge of something. Out of character, that sounds like a terrible idea.
I think here is what I'm gonna say. It actually comes way more natural to you than you expect, Jhank.
Well, okay then.
Directing people on ostensibly wooden vessels on the water feels right.
Well, okay then. That sounds
great. In fact, I think I might send you something after this. Because I think you're the only one who hasn't gotten something like a flashback specific to a thing. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna send you something after this. But the two of you are able to sort of help out with the locks. And Usk, you are going to search for that monk, correct?
Yep.
Alrighty. I would like you to roll either perception or investigation, whichever you feel is more pertinent in this particular case.
Well, investigation's slightly better for me.
Okay.
9.
All right. Unfortunately, you do not manage to locate her. You do, however, catch. It sounds like it's a. Sorry. There is an elven woman and a half-elf man having a discussion near the docks as you're sort of looking around. And you only catch a bit of it. But it sounds like what they're saying is something along the lines of Xanathar's guild has picked up a few people around town, and you hear the man mutter something about like never thought he'd see someone that size taken down. You don't know if you don't quite know if he means the Goliath or someone else, but it definitely seems like she might not be in town anymore.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, who are you looking for again?
The monk that Jhank pissed off.
Ah, right.
Yeah, the monk that Jhank pissed off and then tried to, and then subsequently the one who tried to assault Jhank. And kind of had some problems. She rolled very poorly.
I go up to the couple discussing and say, "Wait, roll that back. Xanathar's guild has been picking up people around town."
They both sort of look at you like, "Why were you listening in on our conversation before?"
I was just passing by and overheard.
I know. They're still, everyone's kind of wary in Skullport. The woman finally takes a moment and says, "Well, I don't know what it is, but the Xanathar's group has been more agitated recently, it seems. I guess the boss isn't terribly happy about something or other. Obviously, we don't really know what, but a few people around the town questioned and picked up by various, the enforcers that sort of wander around. Not all of them go peacefully."
Right, so something's agitated the authority in town. Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. And as you're leaving, you can hear them comment on how weird that was.
Well, I'm a weird guy.
Yeah. All right.
Finely dressed bugbear coming to ask, a couple pointed questions about the people in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Never really something that will ever seem innocuous.
Yeah. At the very least, they can tell you aren't with Xanathar, so they didn't feel uncomfortable talking about it. All right. So I guess we'll finally cut to Victor. You see, as stated, Hollyhock is just sort of like deep in thought at the kitchen table. Falrax has brought her something to eat over the course of the day, but she's only sort of picked at it, and she hasn't really moved all that much.
Okay. So I guess I'll sit down. How do I start this? Well, I guess first thing I could ask is that, does she have any goals or anything she's considering to do? I'm trying to figure out what's her. Is she just sticking with the group because we're interesting, or she got something she want to do?
I want to know what's got her down in the dumps.
Hollyhock sort of lets out a sigh and then leans back in the chair, sort of scratching the back of her head, and she's like, "Well, that's the thing. I'm not entirely sure. I want to protect Willow. I really do. She's given me so much, but part of me is wondering if it might be better long term if I was trying to help out you guys or, the rest of the people around here to get this whole thing settled. I mean, obviously, if this sort of resurrection thing keeps happening, then people are going to keep tromping into her domain and potentially causing problems. But at the same time, I don't know what would be the best choice for me here.
Okay.
I wish I could be in two places at once, but that's impossible.
Yeah. I know it. Well, I've been going through this book and picking up things from my past lives, things that I've done, things that I've done with the group, because we've been at this a while, apparently longer than we can remember, which is the sad part. And there was the reason we even found you was that there was bits of entries and information from Felrax that apparently we had like a missing ranger in our group. Not ranger, but I mean like a troop member. You know what I mean? And we didn't realize that. You know, we were an incomplete set until we can find where you went off to. And as I'm piecing things together, there's a long narrative that involves your sister. And so at this point, Victor kind of opens the book to several of the translated pages he's got and goes through it. Because apparently what we thought was you that approached the group apparently was actually your sister posing as you. Because apparently something happened between you and your sister, an accident. It wasn't anybody's fault. This was one of those things. And she needed to make it right. So she wanted to join us in order to get to the bottom of this dungeon and not only undo the damage here, but find a way to bring you back.
As you are telling this, you see Hollyhock sort of unconsciously bring a hand up to her neck and just start like stroking it. Not like, stroking a beard, but like something is aching.
Okay.
In her throat.
And I found that the information I get from my goddess from this book is not completely reliable when we get down to lower levels. Unfortunately, the Mad Mage at the bottom can have some sway over even powerful artifacts like this. And I apparently was tricked into sending your sister back up to the surface under the impression that it was too dangerous for the group to remain together. And this was not taken well by your sister, and she sought alternate methods to accomplish her goal. Which is why you don't remember too much before when you were at Willow's. Because apparently that's where she went off to. And in a way, swapped the soul in her body with yours using your sword. I don't know all the specifics on how that works. Not being a wizard knows about those kind of things. But from what I can piece together, apparently it was sort of a half success that she did bring you back, but she's temporarily, I guess there's a better word than incapacitated, but just kind of, for the moment, she's not
Gone?
here. Gone might be too strong a word. Her soul is...
I really want to be a part of this conversation.
Let Victor have this.
And the point is that her soul is here with the sword. And seeing that I put too much trust in a book that I didn't know all the specifics on the lower levels of the dungeon, how much that this Mad Mage has power over this realm. So what I really want to do when I get to the bottom is find a way that I can bring your sister back without losing you. That way you two can be reunited, for sure. And if you're not sure what you want to do, I just want to at least let you know what's going on here, because I know you had some lingering questions in the back of your mind about why you woke up where you did, why you maybe have some muddled memories yourself, and where your sister is at this point.
That bitch killed me.
Like I said, it was an accident.
Sure, yeah, it was an accident.
She's still your
She
sister.
she would know best.
She's still your sister, and she's loved you so much that she sacrificed being here so that you can continue living. She put everything of her life to the side for you.
Hollyhock looks really, really upset by all of this, and it's not all just like depression. She seems furious.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. It just seems fair that you need to know everything going on, since we're discovering a lot of these things almost at the same time.
She always had to stick her nose in things.
Well,
She couldn't leave well enough alone. So she killed me, and she brought me back like this. Of course. Of course. Of course.
it was the only option she had. As
If she really felt that bad about it, I don't think she would have cut my head off. I don't think she would have done all of the shit she did defending those pieces of filth who tried to ruin us.
I can't speak for what she does or does in the past. I can only say that what she did now for you, I mean, there's got to be something in her heart that still loves you.
I feel like at this point you're not helping.
This might be the time to stop talking.
Mm.
Hollyhock sort of slumps in the chair, and you see her closing her eyes and letting out a very long breath. Okay. Well, I appreciate you telling me this. It's good to know.
That's a lie.
Still taking it pretty well, all things considered.
It's she points up to the shard of metal in her forehead. It's this, isn't it? It's this that's keeping me here, right?
Don't leave her alone.
I'm not positive.
I don't think that's our choice to make.
I'm thinking that is.
So Willow lied to me too. Okay.
Because it's an unbelievably tragic situation, yeah. But I can't say that.
Nope, unfortunately not.
Yep. If things get loud, I could come in and after hearing it, but I don't know if they did.
Right now, they're not getting very loud. All right, Victor. If you were in my situation, what would you do?
Well, I had a sibling that did what yours did. I mean, understandably pissed. I would probably take a step back and look at a bigger picture here. You mentioned helping all the people of the city, breaking the curse. That's something. I mean, my personal goal is to bring back the Church of Shantea has been the first goal that got me started in all this, but all these other things kind of also important too. And I can only tackle one thing at a time, and I think right now the biggest thing to tackle is try to end this cycle of resurrection, because we keep coming back as mushroom people, and probably not going to end well if we let it keep going.
If you found out that your goddess was lying to you, how do you think you would react?
Probably throw this book in a fire. I mean, if it was all a lie and I wasted that time trying to bring her church back, I mean, that's time I can't get back. But I still have time ahead of me to do something else. Can't
Okay.
really, you know.
Can I be alone for a few minutes, please?
All right, just don't do anything hasty.
Okay.
With the shard or anything. Just
You leave her alone?
I'll give her 5 minutes.
Okay. All right. You give her 5 minutes alone. It sounds like she is ruining that kitchen. You hear the shattering of a table. You hear the breaking of several dishes. You hear a door slamming and then being ripped off of its hinges.
Where's Felrax in all this?
Felrax is standing outside of the kitchen looking at you with a lot of disdain.
I turned to Felrax and I said, I will help you mend every dish that's been broken. And what
So at
sounds
this
like a
point,
table.
I probably hear all this, yeah?
Yeah, you do. This
cares?
is when things got loud.
Okay, I'm
That sounded expensive.
gonna go down there. Because this is not good.
Felrax is going
Needs
to
work
respond to
through
you.
this.
Felrax is going to respond to you, Victor, by going, yes, there are a lot of heirlooms in there.
Hmm. Well.
Oh,
Hey, Lander.
and here I thought I had made the kitchen a place of peace.
My apologies. I will help you mend that too. Hey,
Okay,
Lander.
All right.
So what's going on?
More like what's coming apart. I explained to Holly what happened with her sister posing as her, going down the dungeon, coming back up the dungeon, going to you know what I mean.
Okay, sounds like it didn't go very well.
I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, she didn't punch either Felrax or I, so that was something.
I don't see why she would punch Felrax. But sure.
I mean, that kitchen don't feel too happy right now.
It does not.
I mean, I can't.
I feel like I need to give. I feel like I need to give Felrax credit for not punching anybody.
Oh, he wants to. He wants to so badly. But then he would also have to fix that.
I mean, Victor can fix himself.
I mean, yeah.
It doesn't really do him much good. He does still owe you guys. Like, I know it seems like he's done a lot, but y'all killed basically one of the Harper's biggest enemies.
Oh, another adventure. Wait, is that the
No,
same
no.
one or no?
Same
Red
adventure. Manchun and the Zentarim are like arch enemies of the Harpers.
Oh,
That's why you have this place.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. No, that's pretty big. Yeah.
Yeah, who would have thought that doing a good thing for one of the major gangs in Waterdeep would make you a good friend of one of the other gangs of Waterdeep?
Yep.
They are all gangs in my eyes. It is literally no difference.
It pretty much is. The Harpers are spread all throughout Faerun, though. Same with the Zentarim, I guess, but...
Look at you, Emerald Enclave. You are a gang. You know what you are.
All right, so has Holly finished her?
Yes, she has.
Okay. I will walk in. Take
A
survey
scene
of the
of
room.
devastation.
Yep, it is a scene of devastation. Holly is sitting in the one chair she did not ruin, the same one she was sitting in earlier. She has propped her feet up on the... No, sorry. I'm going to change that. She is not doing that. She is just sort of hunched over and breathing heavily. after that display of anger.
Victor will make his way,
I wish I knew how to
picking
comfort
up
people.
pieces, piling up on piles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is it a good idea to just is it comforting to rest your hand on someone's back?
Not
Not
if
someone
they're
who
touchy.
could break your hand.
It's hard to tell. I don't know these things.
As you enter, Hollyhock looks up, stands to her full height, grabs you by the collar, Victor, and says, "What did you do?" Her eyes are a different color now.
Oh no!
I'm surprised it worked like that.
I am kind of surprised that worked that
I
easily.
figured it would have just killed both of them.
The shard is still there.
They can hot swap.
Oh.
Two sisters who hate each other's guts, one body.
Hey, Dahlia. Well, the good news is the shard is still where it is. Somehow you and your sister Holly can hot swap the body. This is completely a guess.
Dahlia is lifting you off the ground now.
Can I feel a disturbance in the forest and have us rushing back because something's going on?
Yeah.
Well,
it's been some time since we went on our errands.
If you really want to know, I will be truthful. I did tell Holly exactly what happened between you, her, I, and the situation that got her reawoken.
Did you tell her exactly what happened, or did you sugarcoat it a bunch?
I told her exactly what happened. I'm not going to lie to a member of the party.
Crunchbite is probably hiding
To be fair, you
somewhere
did
else
kind
in
of
the house,
sugarcoat
right?
it.
Definitely.
Anyway, I'm gonna send my owl to go peck Yuliy on the head a
this.
bunch.
Especially because she's the only one who really knows that what happened to her was a murder. There's no way we could have accounted for that.
Yeah.
No, we knew.
Well, specifically how aggressive a murder it was.
Yeah.
It was.
That's something that only she knew and could piece together, and that's something we could never have sugarcoated for her or softened.
No, there's no way you could have known that.
The best I could say, that was done in hot blood, so it was,
It might have been an accident in the sense of she didn't mean to go that far.
Yeah.
She still did.
Yeah, it still happened, and the whole reasoning behind it is still something that is fresh on both of their minds. Dahlia does not seem to care about your explanation and just shakes you briefly and says, "Then fix it."
Looks up the damage in the kitchen. I will
put it on the list.
Figure. No, I don't want to put it on the list because that sounds like that's just itching to get my nose broken.
Or worse.
I will figure out how Holly managed to suppress herself in this body. Oh gosh, I have a dog god moment here. Oh, this is good. I wonder if there's a way to control that.
Sounds like extreme anger brought Dahlia back.
Yeah, and now I'm thinking like you, Lander. This is good. What a day.
What did you do?
Victor did something, and now Dahlia is back.
Oh, we're all back now?
I got pecked by an owl.
Y'all would have got, as Lander said, he sent out his owl to get everybody as soon as possible.
Okay, what went wrong?
Victor did something.
Oh yeah, he told me he was going to tell her.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought that it's usually I did something or Jhank did something. When did you change? When did you take the title?
Victor.
I suppose I can take comfort in that I am not responsible for this.
Oh, ha ha ha.
Not really helpful sentiments, but
yeah. I mean,
Victor, because you explained things calmly, what did you do?
I explained to Holly the situation between her sister, the shard, what happened when she was with the party.
Sorry,
and how the whole thing
I
went
can't
down.
help but imagine you explaining this while Dahlia is holding you off the ground.
I'm getting there.
Oh yeah, that's
I-
happening.
I'm getting there.
I'm assuming I'm still in the air doing this. Yes,
I'm
That-
surprised
yeah.
Dahlia
So you
stayed
didn't-
quiet during it.
So you'll never
Okay.
consider that maybe
She's-
saying that
She's
was a
too
bad
angry
idea.
to speak.
I
You'll
mean,
never-
That's
You didn't
okay.
consider that maybe some things are better left unknown.
you know, the problem is that has not been the motive that this party's had this entire time we've been together since coming back. We
I-
wanted to know everything, the good and the
Fair,
bad.
but
We wanted to
I-
know every
I
sin
feel
we
like-
committed.
most
But-
of us aren't emotionally unstable.
And Hollyhock
Beg to
was
differ.
I-
Hollyhock is not officially a
Some
part
of us
our
aren't
party.
emotionally
She was just like,
unstable.
she's not officially a part of our party, or she wasn't.
Well,
All right. So,
okay.
Dahlia, put him down now. You can beat him up later. I understand you're angry, but getting angry at him at this point is not going to do anything now, is it?
Dahlia looks at you and just throws Victor at you. You want him down, you can catch him.
Okay.
Just
I
punch
did ask
into
her.
the
I didn't ask nicely.
Nice throw.
Okay. Are you gonna catch me?
I am going to catch you.
Okay.
Y'all don't need to roll. It's
I
not.
feel
it's
like-
not like hardcore.
Okay.
I feel like you should just let him fall.
Listen, I take trust exercises very seriously. I will not let you
Okay, that's fair. All right. So
go. That head on the wood is not a fun feeling.
Husk isn't too bothered by everything that's happening.
really, you're not
Yeah.
bothered by the entire kitchen being destroyed and an angry person yelling at and being too mad to speak. That's
The kitchen can be
This
fixed.
is an entirely
In all
reasonable.
fairness, it's justified.
This is an entirely
I mean,
reasonable set
yeah,
of reactions for
but-
what happened.
Just had a very nonplussed
Still.
session all night.
Lander, she's justified in her anger.
I
Look,
know.
look,
I'm well
some-
aware of that.
Let's take a step back and
Sometimes
note
when
that
you pull the arrow out and it starts bleeding, you feel a certain sense of relief.
interesting choice of words. Because let me point again that the shard is still in her forehead, which means Hollyhock might still be in there, and there may be a way that they can share the body.
Yeah.
That does not
So-
sound like a very good long-term solution.
If that's
It's-
the case, it sounds like maybe being extremely furious led to Dahlia coming back.
We don't know that for sure.
Yeah, we don't know that at all. Very
So-
slim chance it's the case. And
Um,
sorrow brings back Hollyhock? I
So,
have no
Dahlia,
idea.
What do you want to do about this now? Because I am going to include you in this conversation because it does involve you. And if you still have some rage, we can go out back and we can wrestle for a bit. But I'd like to hear you speak for a little bit.
If none of you can fix it, I'm going back to Willow.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Hold on. I'd like to see if we can figure this out. Come on,
Let's-
Lander. This might be an
I
interesting...
have no experience with this stuff at all.
Neither do I.
I'm
but
at a
willing to
loss.
give it a shot. Hey,
This
A lot of
what-
this is gonna be a learning
This is your
experience.
chance to study it. This is your chance
Yeah.
to study
Come
the
on,
magic
man.
of the shard and of the sword and see if we can get
You
a handle on
see,
it.
with this sort of thing where people's souls and all that are involved, I'd rather learn from someone with experience rather than just go at it where things could go horribly wrong.
We
Hey,
know
worth
someone who-
noting-
bodies.
we actually know we do have a contact who would have the requisite experience to investigate this thoroughly. We just spoke with her yesterday.
Yeah.
Blackstaff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
We could take her to
No.
Blackstaff and get this figured
No.
out.
No.
Of course, we
Yeah.
still have some time left before we can head back up there.
Jhank kind of wanders out of the room.
And also, we could just go back to Willow's.
Yeah, but I
'Cause
feel
clearly Willow has some experience.
In all
Yes, but
fairness.
then
No.
Hollyhock is just gonna do whatever she did to put herself back, and we're just gonna end up bouncing back and forth. So
And why would
I-
she not do the same with the Blackstaff?
Blackstaff, I think, would have more knowledge on how to make this more
controllable.
usable for controllable. Thank you. for Dahlia and Holly to share this body.
But Willow
Short
has
term.
history, and Blackstaff doesn't give 3 shits. You guys forget that this was kind of done emotionally.
Yep. Yeah.
Scientifically, it doesn't matter.
I'm not saying that Blackstaff would care. I'm saying Blackstaff would be able to give us give us a thoroughly researched answer as sort of a mercenary thing.
This entire thing stems from emotions.
Yeah. I mean, Willow doesn't know everything about how the sword works, I don't think.
What Willow did for her, I assume, was more of an act of mercy than anything, and not necessarily getting control of the situation.
Dahlia, if you want to go back to Willow, I'll support you. Because honestly, it really is up to what is going to make you happier. And none of us really have a reason to put your happiness above our reasoning to make you go somewhere you don't want to go. So if you want to go to Willow, then that's fine. If you want to have us bring you up to Blackstaff, that's fine too.
I was just suggesting it. I wasn't making an order. Just to be clear.
No, I know you're suggesting, but I want to hear it from her mouth. And she is pointing at Dahlia. I don't really care what the rest of us, which idea sounds the best for the rest of us, because this conversation involves her.
Dahlia takes a few moments, lets out a sigh, and says, "All right, King Killer, how about this? I want to go see Willow. But you know what I feel like doing more right now? Y'all are still adventuring, right? You're all still doing shit here in the Undermountain and up above?
Yep.
I feel like killing something. What do you want me pointed at?"
I think we can arrange that.
Okay.
And I think that might be a good place to stop for now.
Boy, what a cliffhanger.
Don't think I didn't hear that.
I still feel I should have the chance to go with Blackstaff.
I mean, y'all might.
Color line.
Why would we want to go visit Blackstaff?
We could just be like, hey, suppose someone had the Sword of 9 Souls, and could just go ask her without bringing her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what's this?
Sounds
about
like Yuli's killed a king.
Oh, gosh. The puzzle pieces. I hate and love you, sir.
Did you kill the king of Helru, or was it a king in the Undermountain?
So, something for y'all in the audience to understand is, I know this is a pretty, or rather, let me actually properly end the session. So, as of now, you know roughly where the last pieces of the dragon's hoard are. You have a bit more information on the mysterious thing in the astral realm that's been leading towards your that has been dealing with your chests. You have knowledge that the various factions that were going after the dragon's hoard in the first place are all starting to become agitated and coming back to Waterdeep proper. And you know that there are still approximately 18 floors left in the Undermountain. You have a plan of action. You have a partner back in full form. You have resolved some of the things that have been bugging you since you first reawoke here in the Undermountain. And now it's time to make a plan of action and start wrapping this stuff up. So, For those of you sitting at home, we're going to go on hiatus for a little while. I have not felt like I've been able to give absolutely everything I wanted to this game, so I'm going to take a break, reformat everything, and also other people in the Spud chats have wanted to run their own RPGs, so I want to give them an opportunity to do that. So we will be back at some point.
The Forgotten Ones campaign will be seeding their slot of the Spudventures for few weeks, few months, and indeterminate amount of time while we let Din recharge for a bit, because we've been doing this campaign for, let's not think about it.
Almost 2 years.
Yes. So next week will be Shadow Trot, and then after that will be something new. Something yet to be determined. I should probably step up and do something, shouldn't I? But I'm sure there's other people with ideas that they want to run too.
Do something, Spud. Do something.
It has been ages since I've been in the DM chair.
I think we got a lot of different options available, so whoever's feeling it can.
Yeah. Probably something short. Whatever ideas come forward, probably something short. Probably one-shots or mini campaigns. I think that'll be the stipulation. Just so that we can get through a bunch of people in the break we have before we get back to 2 full campaigns.
Fair.
So yeah, that will be that for this episode. And boy, what a ride it was. And I'm glad we got like a really tense cliffhanger out of it too.
It's a really good place to end the season.
I think so.
I love Hollyhock. I love Dahlia.
Honestly, they're both great. They're both great characters in this situation, even though their situation is incredibly tragic, and a lot of it is our fault.
I don't think much of it is your fault, honestly.
Only the last bit is our fault.
I love and support Dahlia and Hollyhock. I am the founder of this fan club.
All right. Well, in that case, thank you for listening to our Spudventures. If you like what you heard, you can find more at youtube.com/Newbiespud or wherever you get your fine podcasts, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, etc. We aim to livestream these games every Sunday around 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 Eastern at twitch.tv/Newbiespud. If you want to keep up with this and other projects I'm doing, you can follow me on Twitter at Newbiespud. And if you want to support my ability to produce more content like this with my friends, please consider supporting me at patreon.com/Newbiespud. See you next time with the next session of Shadow Trot.